Okay, I am sorry. I'm back. My phone actually died. Um, my phone died, so I had to change to come over here. So I don't know if anybody's going to join because I think people are still in the other live waiting for me to come back. I wonder. Hold on one second. I wonder. Been forever. Last time I did it, it was on a Mac. So um, let me see. Okay, somebody made it over here. Whoever's here, hello. I'm just gonna wait a second and try to see if I can share this. Um, somebody called me riffraff tonight. That's crazy. I'll be that. Okay. Let me just share this. This internet is so slow. So much faster on my phone. Um, so overall, how do I feel about the interview? I feel give an interview they want to give it. You know, if you talk to someone, they're going to have their own reasons for why they want to talk to you, and that's okay. You know, her platform is her platform, and she can ask any question she wants. I didn't, like I said before, I didn't think it was completely fair. People needed to respect her, the people in the chat, and her guests. Hold one second. Are you okay? What's wrong with you? Um, yeah, I'll say this. I said it before. I'm not sure who's here because I can't really see. I just see a number. I don't see any kind of names as far as who's here. I'll say this: KK he started live streaming, and that's not actually true because he actually had a entire live stream about me. Yeah, I feel like oftentimes when a person's feelings are hurt, because I think his feelings are hurt. Like he didn't have an issue with me for real, until I said what I said um, about his injury. And I've apologized for that. I'm not going to say it over and over again because nobody likes to have to apologize a zillion times to somebody who says they won't accept it. I'm not, I don't gain anything by him accepting my apology. That's for me. My apology is for me, not for him. And he didn't expect me to come back and say what I said. But I also didn't expect to wake up 4 or 5 different times in the morning and the first thing I see is a video about me from somebody who won't speak to me. And then when this person actually does come into 2 places, I may fight you, and we're online anyway. So why not just have the conversation? You got to get all loud and upset and yell and blah blah blah. And you know, Funky Dine even say I'm classy like this, not like this. I'm not hood. I don't was born on our computer. We did them at the park, on the playground, in the street. So I don't come from a mindset where you do this to be like, why am I battling for a grown man? Why am I online arguing with people about someone that most people don't know? Um, so like, you know, I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. She asked me to apologize to people, and I don't mind apologizing. I I really don't. If I did something wrong, I'm the first person who needs to apologize. I don't care who did what first. Like that's childish to me to say, "Oh, they said something to me first, so I'm not going." I don't have anything to hide. I've never lied about anything. I see you, Flacco. Flacco, however you say your name. Jump around and bounce around sharing this story all over the place. I'm not Andrea Kelly trying to make money off of interviews. I'm not a person who's got a book to sell, I don't have a movie out, I don't have information. Some concrete, tangible information to share. I don't really see the use of jumping around to have this conversation over and over again. I had it. I would say the same exact thing on somebody else's platform. Let me see your transcripts if you can share that interview if you want to share what I said. But same questions, same answers. Maybe there's different questions. Who knows? I can't imagine there's a whole lot more different. But I it is what it is. I um I make the content that I make for the people who want to watch it. I pay close attention to what people like. I mean, even before I was, when I was an Umar Johnson supporter, I got a lot of views on his videos. But I also like my most popular video is a Dr. Ben video. It got like 13,000 views, and I had to remove it because YouTube told me to. But it was a beautiful video that Dr. Ben did, and he's not the, Umar's not the only person I've talked about, obviously. I did work on Boyce Watkins. I've supported Boyce Watkins, and then I started seeing he was full of shit. So I did work on him. Like, no, nobody's demanded that listen, if they've demanded that I apologize, that's childish. With a group of people, I don't feel the need to be accepted in a clique. I'm not going to apologize to be accepted by anyone. I'm going to apologize because I apologize. When Rev G said apologize to me, I had to apologize to him, or we wouldn't have been talking over the last few months. He asked me to email him. So I'm like, but I did, and I will, but I'm not going to do it over and over again. KKC can kick rocks because he's not respectful. And I have apologized to him, and he said he didn't accept it, but he's still me. So if you choose to still be mad, there's a whole lot I've been through that's taught me that shit go. Like I said, if what I said is his feelings were hurt, and I could understand that because I had to cut him in the gut. He kept going for me. With somebody to not. I'm just trying to teach him some professionalism. It's really a lesson. These videos about Umar, if I hadn't already talked to him, if I hadn't already, I shut down her channel. Are we talking about the same thing? TM, same thing. Help me clarify. So it was not a fair and balanced interview. You know that. See, these are, everybody thinks people are perfect because they do good work. These are human beings. We can get into this cult of personality where we think that because somebody's doing something good, Bengalis and Rev G, when it comes to me. If they never apologize, I don't care. I got a whole lot more. Oh, I'm sorry, Tiara, you talking to years. Look, go back to my channel. My channel is almost 10 years old. So my whole channel is over because of tonight's interview. I mean, that means when I stop making elf videos and when I stop making Umar Johnson videos, when I stop making videos about the spiritual work and the change in the atmosphere and, all this, my workout videos, I talk about a lot. No, it wasn't fair, but who cares? She's got a right to ask me the question she wants to ask me. And I answered questions I wanted to answer. If she had asked different questions, I would have asked those too. We know it wasn't fair. Anybody who saw that interview with a good eye told the woman what to ask me because she said there were certain anti-Afro Svengali in her video today said there were certain things she wouldn't allude to. I know what that means. Anybody in their right mind knows that if I was defending Umar like that, we had sex. Come on. Do I have to come out and say that for adults to know that? Have you not been in a relationship with somebody before and did crazy things to please them? I mean, I'm kind of not understanding why we're acting like we new to this. Kool-Aid Queen, you should actually watch it. I went back and watched the entire thing while me and my baby made slime, and it was interesting. Um, I think that I appreciate that, Poetic Flacco. I appreciate you for reaching out to me to give me a heads up. But I've done these interviews before. I'm an activist. These reporters will call you in to do an interview and share that interview with the police. I've already seen my picture on the walls at the police stations from interviews. You think I don't know? My picture right now is on Gannett. Is it Gannett? The website that takes all the pictures of people. It's for sale for $5,000. A picture of me that a reporter took. YouTube is quite new compared to media. I knew exactly the question she was asking me while she was asking me. She asked me questions about my family to disarm me. I mean, I know what's up. I know what's up. And I don't mind interview. I couldn't say again because I didn't tell one lie. And even the question she didn't want I didn't want to answer, I went ahead and answered it. Even though I didn't want to answer that question. Getty Images, yeah. Thank you, Tiara. Getty Images has several pictures of me that I post my own pictures on social media. I don't know how I got into that, but I mean, I know how this shit is. Was it a setup for what? A setup for what? I mean, I'm not asking people for anything. I don't even ask people to like or subscribe in my videos about Umar. Not one of my videos about Umar do you see. I'll ask people to comment, but you don't see any of my videos where I ask people to like, subscribe, or share. I don't do that. Or if I'm making a video about this oil or so yeah, I'll ask you to like, comment, and subscribe, share. Let me just read this comment real quick because I appreciate you guys being here. So I want to give attention to your comments. I'm gonna start from the bottom if that's okay. So I never really understood this from the interview. Please give us another moment. Just the whole thing I knew was a scam. Anytime somebody's asking you for money and they won't show you any documents concerning the money they're asking for, from the get, I knew that school thing was a scam. You know, you want people to. He didn't call black folks trifling because they gave him $250,000. It cost me $200,000 to get out of jail, and I was grateful for every dime people gave me. I, I just knew the man asked for money and never showed any documents and to support his project. That's a scam. That's obviously not on the up and up. I hope that answered your question, Delta girl. How did the question? I'm sorry. I think that because I was in Twitter battles with people who were opposing Umar Johnson, people who call themselves now, they didn't call themselves anti-fraud warriors back then. That's a new name. It just kind of came up. It's cute too. I like it. I think that because I was in battles with them as furiously as I was, and I supported Umar Johnson as much as I did, for me to come out and start speaking against him is kind of like, what? Hmm? I think King Kong Crazy said I was a mole. Take it back to Umar. They don't talk about shit in that chat. What I'm gonna take back? If I was gonna take anything back, he could watch it himself. Umar's got 1,000,000 accounts. Oh, my baby sleep. Oh, I don't need to do that. I never need to do that. I'm gonna jump up and see. But Poetic Flacco, I respect what you were trying to do. I respect you, coming to me and giving me a heads up. Just, I mean, I'm one of them Lions Den type of bitches. I walk in that motherfucker. I don't care. I come out not smelling like smoke. I don't have a scratch on me. Same me I was before. Only difference is I took off my lashes. Let's see. I'm sorry. Let me just go through some of these comments. Mad. Listen, there are people who stop being friends with me when I stopped going to church. There are people who stopped being friends with me when I got a divorce from my husband who was treating me poorly. because I broke a church rule and got a divorce. My dad said I was a disgrace to his name. Do you think I care about these people that I don't know? That's like a 20s word for people that go around starting trouble. I mean, like, if they're still upset about whatever transpired, I'm not. I'm not still upset about the things that they said and did to me because I'm over it. I get over stuff. And I can't move forward in stuff if I don't get over stuff. A lot of my energy, I had a massage today before this interview. Not a Reiki one, but a good one. So you best believe I know how to take care of myself. And my computer is slow, y'all. Let me tell you something. One thing I did with the money people donated to me was I went on Amazon and I bought stuff I knew I would need when I came back to the States. Because I knew that when I came back to the States, there were certain things I was going to need, like socks and underwear and stuff like that. So I bought this little $300 computer on Amazon with donation money. And it's a little slow, but I'm grateful for it. Do you ever recall using his funds for personal use? Did you ever benefit? Would you say he's no? Umar's not a spender. Umar's not the kind of. I don't gather that. I'm a hypergamous woman. Okay, I am a hypergamous woman. Umar is not a hypogamous man. He's not. Umar is the kind of man who doesn't see anything wrong with women taking care of him. See that? I'm not a woman that takes care of a man, but I'm also I'm the kind of woman who's taken care of. I believe that a woman's place, as far as in a male-female relationship, is to trips. I mean, he invited me to a couple places, but I think it was talk. I don't think it was ever anything he was serious about. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. I am, I felt like I lost my temper a couple times. She said, good job on the interview. You handled it with great, but I'm trying to stop cussing. I'm working on it. I felt like I let KKC kind of upset me because after him, I was a little less. No, Delta girl. I don't have any moderators in this chat. Flocko is welcome to say whatever he wants. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't run that kind of chat. I don't run that kind of channel. I don't delete people's. There's somebody on my channel right now. If you go to my last couple videos, they keep saying I'm lonely because they want somebody to come to their channel and subscribe to them for some reason. I don't delete that kind of stuff. Listen. I don't delete that. Poetic Flacco can say what he wants. I understand he's might be annoying to you, but I don't have a problem with it. As long as people are respectful, and even if people are disrespectful, y'all are grown. Y'all should be able to handle that on your own. I'm gonna go back up a little bit and help me. If I didn't answer your question and you asked one all the way, let me know because I can ramble. Mad at you. At first, he said that I was connected to Umar and scamming people because Umar posted a fundraiser I created to raise money to get out of China. I started a fundraiser called GTFOH, Get the Fuck Out of Here. And KKC assumed that because I was formerly a supporter of Umar and now I'm speaking out against him, that I was defrauding the people. And he never reached out to me to actually clarify that information. So that was his initial issue. After several interviews he made, defaming my name, showing my face, and not talking to me directly, I said feelings real, real bad. Women, that tongue is a bitch, man. We can say some stuff that we're not supposed to say. And sometimes a man can be more sensitive than you think he is. That's one thing we don't. But they really, a lot of men are just as sensitive as we are. And their feelings can be hurt. I can imagine that what he went through, he's probably gotten therapy concerning his emotional state and his well-being. I don't want to talk about him too much because I don't want him to misconstrue anything I'm trying to say, in which my life was in very grave danger. And so I can empathize with that and know what it's like to bounce back from it and then somebody throw it in your face like he did me. I definitely understand how that feels. And like I said, I apologize to the dude. He don't want to accept it. That's all well and good. But that was his initial, that was his bottom line for having me blocked from Lynn and Honor's chat, was because of the thing. And he said he didn't accept my apology. So he chooses to be upset. Now, he doesn't have to. I'm not a Christian, so I don't believe people have to forgive you. Like I don't forgive certain people. Okay. He's not God or mine for that matter. So it really doesn't matter to me that much. I said what I face. Everything he said to me has been behind one of these. And if you know anything about social media, you know people can say a whole lot of stuff like this that they would never say like this. So I mean, if he chooses to handle it that way, that's fine. But I'm not about a popularity contest. I was class president twice in a row, and I stopped being class president because I stopped running. I could give a fuck. I'm not about, and I lived in the country by myself for 4 years. I live in a city that I'm new to. I don't have a lot of friends. So I don't care about popularity. It doesn't matter. I said what I was supposed to say. I apologized to him. I apologized to Rev G. I apologized to Anti-Afro Svengali. I don't normally apologize to people I can't see, but I did. I don't have a problem doing that. I did something I shouldn't have done. And the right thing to do when you do something you shouldn't have done is to apologize, whether you are provoked to apologize or not. If they ever apologize to me back, man, that shit is water under the bridge. Supported his channel because he was putting out some good stuff. I still supported his channel. He chose to rile it back up again. Mind you, he says 4, I say 5. He made several videos about me over a period of time. So like I still supported his channel, even though he made those videos about me because I understood. Some people are, I think it would have done him, I think that he was so committed to his opinion that he wouldn't want to hear anything different. It would be too much for him to hear that I wasn't involved with Umar in a scandalous way. I think because there's no scandal here. Two people who had a consensual romantic relationship, there's no scandal. We didn't do anything wrong. You know, neither one of us were married. Neither one of us were in a relationship. Neither one of us did anything we weren't supposed to do. So like oh, she did this, she did that. And you wish I did this and that. All I'm saying is this, it goes into a whole lot of other stuff. I did. That's what I did. I said something like that in retaliation to the several things he said to me, and he still won't say. If you read between the lines, he says he made a mistake. He says what I thought, but you can hear what he's saying. Hear him say, "I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't check the facts. I didn't make sure that I knew what I was talking about. I didn't check my sources. I didn't have any tertiary sources. He didn't have any primary sources. That be me. I'm the primary source. So, like, I mean, it's messy to me, and it's queenish, if that makes any sense. I don't mean to use a derogatory phrase, but it's kind of queenish, and I don't really do like gossip. I'm not gonna have no video battle with you where you make a video and I make a video about that. So, like, with my call out to Anti-Afro Svengali, it's like, you know, I'm not taking that video down for now because I don't need to. I don't need to. There's a lot of things that woman said. That one thing she said that was extremely dangerous, like that's what provoked me to make that video, aside from me supporting Umar. You know, if I had heard her say that and I wasn't things, I don't go back and scrub my history unless it has something to do with a guy. And what I mean by that is, if when I was married and I got divorced, I scrubbed my history. I scrubbed my pictures and my videos of my marriage. Because I don't want to be dating somebody and they go back through my social media and see my husband. That's gross. If I was in a relationship with the guy and we were in a real relationship and we took pictures and put them on the web, I take that stuff down after we break up. Because I don't want nobody to go and see the fact that I was with somebody else. Guys don't like the videos of when I said things that were in support of Umar. There's a few videos online where I've said things in support of Umar. I'm not going to go back and take that stuff down. Like, for what? This is social. I'm not going to do a video about them. I don't get down in the mud and fight with people like that. I said, I asked KKC to talk to me. He won't. You saw that. The whole world saw it twice. Last night's live broadcast because it doesn't fit in with what I'm trying to do. What I am interested in, let me be clear. The only reason I'm making this video now is because there's going to be a lot of conversation about this, I'm sure. And I just want to speak my speech on it. When I make videos about Umar Johnson, it is specifically to expose him. As far as AAS and KKC attacking me, I don't care. I'm not going to go comment on Anti-Afro Svengali's video because she said a lot of stuff that just wasn't true. If she talks to me about it, we could talk about it. I'm grown. I'm not going to make a video about them like that. That's crazy to me. Like, I just doesn't fit with what I do. It just doesn't fit what I do. Do you ever recall his use? Oh, somebody asked that question. No, I don't ever recall him using funds for personal use. I've never been a witness of using any money that donators gave him for personal use. As a matter of fact, when he was in my presence in China, he didn't pay for anything. My team paid transportation the whole time he was there. We had private cars and everything because I do things like that. His flights, his hotel, we took care of everything. Everything. So I've never seen him use personal funds. I have, let me go back down. She skipped over that Twitter exchange. Of course. Pay attention to how when you say AAS said supporters deserve to get shot in the head, she said it wasn't true and skip past it. Of course. Of course. And here's what I realized. There is a certain cult of personality on that side as well, where they have elevated this person to a perfect status. And that's okay. If you need people to be perfect in order to work with them, then that's good for you. But I grew up around pastors, so I know better. Most of those pastors were literally former pimps, and they will tell you they used to pimp back in the day. And some of that stuff ain't never left them. So like I'm used to being around imperfect people who do good work because it was relevant. I know that she skipped over that part because I had something to say there. I know that. Listen, I'm not here. Listen, my point says often time will tell. So I don't have a problem with whether or not people believed me or not. Most of these people don't even know me. I only really literally personally knew 2 people in that entire chat. And they've known me this entire time from the beginning today. So like, if they choose to still be upset and hold on to something, let me ask you a question. And I'd like you guys to answer this in the chat. What's the worst that could happen if the 3 people who don't believe me, or 4, 5, the congregation of people that don't believe me, what's the worst that could happen if they never believe me? I'd like to see it. I'm gonna scroll. I truly am a former supporter of Umar Johnson. What's the worst? I'm gonna go through the questions, Delta Girl. I'm not gonna miss nothing. I want to give you guys because I was kind of disappointed I didn't get a chance to answer you guys' questions tonight. I would have loved to have done that. I've seen her lives go much longer than 2 hours. So nothing. Exactly. Thank you, Delta Girl. Just like when somebody said, why didn't you get upset when they put your work videos out there? What they gonna do? Call my boss and say, Tasha Hyren, Tasha Bu Hao, Busher. What they gonna do? Talk to my boss in Chinese about me? After I was involved in the arrest in Charlotte, I went to China to run away. The truth of the matter is, I got accepted. I got my job in China June 1st. Our situation in Charlotte was September 20th, 2016. That's a lot of months. I had already, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see, I had already decided and talked about going to China a long, and I did not get arrested the same night of the incidents. I did not get arrested the same night of the incidents I'm accused of being involved in. I got arrested almost a week or 2 later. On October 2nd, people put stuff all together like it's just a mishmash. But that's not what's up. Thank you, Delta Girl. You answer for everybody. If people never believe me, it doesn't cost me anything. If people come and watch my videos about Umar, they do. And if they don't, they don't. I don't pay for views. I don't pay for comments. I don't pay for likes. It's an organic channel that you see in front of you here. So I know people can love you one day and turn on you the next. I did it to Umar. Loved him one day and turned on him the next. So I know that. Hey, Danny. I appreciate your support too, Danny. I'm gonna go back up into the comments if it's okay and just answer some of these questions because I really appreciate you guys and your questions. If you love me or hate me, my mama told me something, and she tells people this quite often. You'll hear me talk about my mama because that's my girl. My mama told me, and she tells other people, with me, and she uses my name. She says, with me, you have to love her or hate her. She won't give you a choice. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me go up. I got this Super Mario song in my head. Do 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 do. I don't know why it's in my head. After you wait. Oh, after you told your story on Max V's live, KKC and AAS rep took a hit. That was not my intention. I just want to be honest. These aren't perfect people. They make mistakes too. It's not my intention to diminish their character or assassinate it or make them take any attention to make anybody's reputation take a hit. That's not what I do. I don't go around making people's reputations take a hit. I don't have anything on any of them. I don't have anything said that was wrong. As far as like anything else other than what I've already said. Um, I don't care. I mean, I never intended for their reputations to take a hit. But let me finish reading your comment. You made a huge impact on their integrity. That's why she made a 24-minute video about you. You have them on the ropes. I don't think there's a fight though. Like, in order for them to be on the ropes, I have to be fighting them. I heard Megan Thee Stallion say any bitch beefing from back then, she beefing by herself. Listen, I'm not gonna go back and forth. Listen, what my niggas say, I ain't going back and forth with you niggas. I'm not doing it. It's not my brand. It's not what I do. When I went through my stuff with New Birth, I said what I had to say and I got the fuck out. I didn't go back and forth and argue and fight. I had the meeting, I had to say, and I got out. That's what I do. As far as their reputation's taking a hit, I don't know if that happened. I do know that they're not perfect people, and they've made mistakes along the way here too. Let me see. Michael said this interview was simply to do damage control. Okay. All right. I skipped over some stuff. Oh, somebody just asked, Tiara, if you're still here, said you friend zoned him at first. What changed? I just wasn't getting the kind of attention from him that I like from a man. He texted me with emojis and not real conversation. And at the time, he was like 44, 45. I don't have conversations with men like that. It just wasn't consistent. It wasn't sustained. It wasn't interesting. I wasn't interested in him. He bored me. So I friend zoned him because he could probably still be cool people. I just don't want to expect anything more from him. Does that make sense? Hold on. Barefoot or in slippers? I'm barefoot. You want to see my feet? I should probably sell this picture to you. I have an actual Instagram, but I charge for my foot pictures on that Instagram. But yeah, my feet are bare. See my toes? Somebody like that. You'd be surprised all these fetishes out here, y'all. Them feet are worth some money. Ladies, if you keep your feet dead, take some pictures. People will pay. I'm going to tell you, $50, $100. Shoot, you can take a picture of a toe and a dude will drop your Cash App for it. Keep playing with me. I told y'all tonight I'm always interested in new streams of income. Shoot, I was negotiating with somebody Saturday night about the price for my foot pictures. He said I charge too much. I said my pedicures ain't free, baby. Let me go to these comments. You should do more videos on those Twitter exchanges and how they doxed you. I don't even care. I'm telling you, like, I'm not going back and forth and doing that. My only conversation about this on my channel now is to get it out. Intellectual energy into making videos about these people. For what? They have their opinion, and that's theirs. That's theirs. Like I said, there were people that stopped being friends with me when I left the church. Delta girl, what do I have to lose? Nothing. Um, One thing for sure from watching this drama unfold is that AFW are way crazier than any quote unquote Umarian. I don't know. Delta girl, thank you for saying I'm sweet too. I appreciate it. I try, girl. I try. You know, sometimes this shit can get real. And like I said earlier, I'm working on my feminine energy. I grew up fighting. All my friends were boys, and my boys used to take me in the basement and make me fight so I wouldn't be soft because they knew I was pretty and them girls was gonna try me. So my boys would take me in the basement and they'd be like, "Come on, you gotta fight, because these girls are gonna try you." So I had to fight, and I learned how to fight. So like once I learned how to fight without having to use my fists, this YouTube stuff is easy. I've had people come after my entire career. I've had employees try to assassinate my character and shut down my entire career. And I've had to just sit back and watch and then write their termination letter. I've had careers and actual success in life is we don't get caught up in this simple low vibrational stuff. Um, I would never have released the information I have. That's crazy to me. I would never want to have to worry about walking outside my office and somebody being there. That's crazy. That's crazy. I have a house with special parking so I don't have to encounter people. I don't want to have to worry. Like I wouldn't put that on nobody. Yeah, Danny, people want to see me war with them, but that's my wars don't happen like that. When I fight, it's for something. This ain't something. And if I'm going to fight that, listen, I don't put people in jars like Tiffany. The whole time we were sitting here, I had some crystals in front of me and I was burning some incense, operating the magic so I'd remember my power. And I had a green crystal so she'd get a lot of views and make a lot of money off that video. That was for her, not for me. Green citrine so that she would have a lot of views on that video and it would be really lucrative to her because I wanted her to get that since she was kind enough to allow me to speak my speech. But no, listen, I'm not trying to war with those people. That's a waste of my energy. I'm very careful about protecting my energy. When I was in church, I called it my anointing. Listen, I apologize to people every day. I don't need to, just so they don't. I over tip and be like, that cheap bitch. No, I want people to speak blessings over me, so I pay for them. I tip high. So when people see that tip, they be like, oh, that was so nice. Bless her. So like, I'm not trying to be out here creating bad karma. We're in the age of Aquarius now. How we move in these things, the unseen things have to be very, very, very careful. And this YouTube thing is unseen. It's intangible. You can't touch it differently. I literally have overnight changed the way that I think about people because I know the time that I'm in. And I know that we're not moving like we used to. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the back and forth. Oh, Danny, I'm glad you found my videos refreshing. Thank you. Those old videos, me marching on hiking on Crowder's Mountain, I came across those a couple of days ago. I was able to go because YouTube gave me some feedback about my channel. And so I was able to go back through my videos and see some of my maturation, the water fasts I used to do, and how good I looked when I did them. Oh my God, I might have to go back to that. But anyway, I think that's all the questions. Is there anything else? Because I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it. Some people might say stuff. You might see some videos or whatever. People say stuff about me. I'm not gonna be battling back and forth with people. I'm not gonna be or anti-Afro Svengali as an enemy of our people. I actually feel like they have a motivation to do some really good work. I learned something though. Let me tell you this. Who used to do the documentaries like, oh, Delta, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go up. I missed something. I don't know what it was, but I'm gonna go up. He forged a document to put in one of his documentaries and said the document came from the government. He also reenacted someone buying a gun from a gun shop and said it was an actual something that happened. Broadcast school, we don't do that. We don't lie to prove a point. I was in broadcast school back when we had to study the R. Kelly tapes. when they first came out. That's how long ago I went to college. So like I learned a different kind of media. Back when there weren't bloggers back when I was studying journalism. Everybody who put news out was a bona fide journalist. And even then, you couldn't always trust everything you heard. But I've always learned back when I watched, there was a video I did a couple days ago. And while I was watching that video, I researched something I said and I edited out what I said because I realized I made a mistake. So before I put that video up, I made sure I fact checked myself and wouldn't put the video up with misconstrued facts. But, I think we give people this pass because this is YouTube. No, you're still held to the same trust on facts. People will trust Tasha K before they'll trust Barbara Walters. Facts. Okay? Tasha K got more pull with the Black community when it goes than Oprah. Okay? So like this isn't a woman who was educated in journalism. She had some good jobs in television, and she's made some mistakes in putting out stories about people that everybody finds out are true, and she takes hits for that shit. I'm not asking anybody to beat up KKC. He's a young man. He's got to learn. He'll learn, hopefully. He's a young man. I think our situation taught him. He won't apologize, but to delete the video on Anti-Afro Svengali, he needs to delete all the videos he made about me. How about that? How about that? Let me go up. Delta girl. Oh, what did you say? You said Umar reminds you of a pastor. He could be a youth pastor very easily. And if he was a youth pastor, we'd be watching him very closely. Delta. Oh, I'm sorry. I see your question. It's right in front of me. I'm going to read it. Next question, and let me know if I'm asking too much. I don't know from him. He's in Philly and go to one of his lectures or to come to one of the cities he'd be in. But I don't stay in people's houses I don't know like that. So I would never ever. No, I don't know where he lives. People say he lives with his mom. I checked the address. It isn't her name. I'm not going to put the address out there because that'd be tacky. I know her name. I know her birthday. I'm not going to do that because that'd be tacky. He was probably living at the school. And then when y'all start talking about that, you notice he started making videos with the curtains. And I'm, by the looks of them curtains, I'm thinking that must be his mama's house. Because not many, either his mama's house or he got an older woman. Was that it, Delta Girl? Was that the one that you were telling me to go up one more? Ooh. Okay. Let me see. Stuff. I see you say, do you ever recall him using funds for personal use? I don't. He never spent any money on me. He did leave me with 600 kwai when he left me money with him he didn't need because we covered his expenses. And that 600 kwai went straight to the coffers to cover the expenses. Because our Umar Johnson events, we did a few. And I think altogether it might have cost us about 30,000 in China dollars, which is probably close to 6,000. No, that's not right. 5,000. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 7 is 42. 4 times 7, closer to 4,000, between $4,000 and $5,000 based on the market value of money. So it probably cost about $4,000 to $5,000 to put him up in China. My numbers are way wrong. I'm sorry. It costs us closer. It's hard to do Chinese money. 3 times 7 is 21. So closer to about $3,000 in American dollars. And then the conversation was had about bringing him back, and I wouldn't. I told him, like, I got to make sure I can have this popular enough because this was a labor of love. Like, people weren't fucking with him. And that was one thing. Somebody asked, what was it? Hear him speak. Now, these were my colleagues. These are my peers, my counterparts, highly intelligent people. I mean, if you've ever lived overseas, you know it's only the best of the best, especially when we're Black. Highly intelligent people who wouldn't support him. And the people that came, a lot of them came because they didn't like him. So like that made me see things a little differently. Like I'm an intelligent person, and I don't get mad at me, but I started comparing myself to his followers because I grew up relatively poor. So I started to get educated people. We tend to have more pity on them, which we should, but we don't have the same expectations of them when it comes to critical thinking and awareness. And I started thinking like the typical person that supports Umar Johnson is not my people. Like we don't live the same lifestyle, but we're not in the same class of people, if that makes sense. We're uncomfortable talking about class in our race. Everybody else has a conversation about class in there. We don't live the same. She's not a luxury girl. She's not a high class girl. She's pretty basic. And I don't mean that to insult her. But when I start to look at Umar supporters and compare them to me, and then I couldn't fill a room full of people who were like me. You know, we vacationed together, we dinnered together, we studied together, we worked together, we got bags together, we had businesses together, but they wouldn't support him. And they were like, why the fuck are you supporting him? You know? I heard him say something to somebody. If you go back and look at my Shanghai video from the event that I made that video on my phone. He really kind of was like not cool with this woman who was a lesbian, who I didn't even talk to her. She came to my event and asked him a really reasonable question, like, why do I have to have sex with a black person because you say so? Makes sense to me. But she was upset with me for even having that gathering, and I get it. I get that. I catch a lot of heat. Let me see if I missed something. Did I get what you were talking about, Delta girl? I'm gonna go back down to the bottom. But no, as far as like Umar spending money, I'm a hypergamous woman. And if you don't know what that means, that basically just means that I believe that women should be taken care of by men and 50-50 and all this other stuff. And I think that it makes us more masculine. So then we don't attract the kind of men we want. Um, so I mean, at the core, hypergamous woman. If a man ain't spending, if he's not willing to take care of me and be by me being his woman, I mean, you want all this respect. You want me to submit, you got to pay to play. So like literally, if I'm in a relationship with a man, I don't pay for anything. I shouldn't have to because that's not my position. I'm not a provider. I'm not a protector. I'm a nurturer, you know? Um, and let KKC tell it, you know, I do other things, not in a relationship. So I'm completely responsible for all of my affairs. But, you know, there are arrangements. There are arrangements. But no, I'm not the kind of woman that would date a man like Umar um, in my right mind. When I encountered Umar originally, first of all, I had been in China in a small town by myself for 2 years. I hadn't, y'all, I hadn't seen a man in 2 years, not a black one. I'd seen plenty of white Malawians, Romanians, wasn't interested. So this masculine energy kind of was like, whew. And I won't go into a whole lot of detail because I really don't want to start a back and forth with him about this. Because I do believe some things should remain private and personal. But I'll say that I've heard him teach things and tell men to conduct themselves and behave and treat women a certain way. And I didn't get it. I didn't get that treatment from him, which let me know he knew better. He just chose not to do better. And I wasn't going to be a woman who, I haven't checked your Instagram yet, but everyone calls you thicker than a stick. Baby, I'm thick as fuck. No lie. I look amazing, especially for my age. I would say that. I work really hard on it though. I don't eat meat. I drink a lot of water. I work out every day. Like you can't be 40 and fine for free. I invest a lot in myself to move gone down. And I refuse. And I do realize that my appearance attracts a certain kind of man. And as I said, I'm hypergamous. So it's important to me that I attract the kind of man that I want, and I do. Um, Delta girl, you want him to check your? Oh, you checking questions? I want him to check your Instagram. You thicker than a sticker too, Delta girl. Um, let's see. All right. If I should, let me know. I think I can, but I'm not sure I know how. Yeah, I might have to set that up beforehand. But no, I mean that's the root of it. I'll say that I wasn't surprised. Um, there was some conduct that I participated in on that interview that I'm not proud of, but my daughter and I watched that interview together. My mama has access to that interview. I'm grown and I can back it up. I can back it up. It's just like that. So I'm still disappointed in KKC, but I'm not surprised. He's a hypocrite for him to even talk about Umar at this moment, the way he spoke to me tonight. And last night he got on live talking about shorty. I ain't nobody's shorty. I'm your elder. You're not in my class to even. You're not even in my date range. Like I don't. I for he and I, there wouldn't. I can't. I'm trying not to say stuff because I could be shady as fuck, and I don't want to like pour any salt on the wound. So I'm trying to be careful about what I say. I'll say this: any man who speaks to a woman like that in conflict doesn't deserve a woman like me, because I have been in conflict with men over my lifetime, and they never got that gutter or disrespectful with me. And you can't say it was provoked because I didn't even get to talk to him. Didn't even get to talk to him. He accused me of doxing Rev G. Rev G hasn't accused me of doxing him. And what happened with anti-Afro Svengalis was not doxing because it was public information. Was it inappropriate? Yeah. Was it foul? Mm-hmm. But was it illegal? No. If it was illegal, she would have. Come on. If it was illegal, she would have done what she had to do. If what I did by putting a license and a name on that video was illegal, the video wouldn't even be there anymore, and it's over 2 years old. Part of the reason why I left the video up was because I don't run from my past. I made a lot of mistakes in my past. I don't run from it. Stretch marks. Stuff we're not proud of. Stuff we would go down that anti-Afro Svengali video, then we all can agree KKC needs to take down those 4 or 5 videos he has on me, because they're not based on facts. They're based on his hate for a man. And I mentioned that to him, like, you hate him that much that you would involve me this way? A man who's supposed to be a provider and a protector is putting a woman in this position. You're calling me to a battle. You want to call me to fight you? Like, I stopped fighting boys a long time ago, but I still can. But I don't want to. I don't want to fight no man. Last man I fought was in that chat tonight, and that's my brother. Last man I got into a knockdown drag out with was in that chat tonight, and that's my brother. So, like, I don't waddle like that. I'd much rather stay in a lady's place. Um, I used to call myself a queen. Now I call myself a princess, because queens have to be strong and unemotional and unrelenting and tough. But a princess gets to be soft and feminine and beautiful, and I'd much rather be that. So I'll stay in my princess. Um, I'll stay in my princess. I'm not gonna go back and forth with that young man. Just not gonna do it. Is there anything else? Was there anything else I said? There was somebody, I'm trying to just cover some of the things that were misconstrued. Of course, everybody think my daughter belongs to Umar. No. My daughter's father is in North Carolina. We made our baby the night I got into that kerfuffle. No, I didn't even know Umar when my daughter was made. um, no. Let me try to think what else people said that was off. Somebody said she looked like Umar. No, she don't. My baby lighter than me. She looked like me. She looked like me and her father. What else was said? Because I haven't gone back and looked at the comments on that video, and I probably won't. Go back and look at the comments, because sometimes people can say stuff that leaves an imprint on you. And when you're working on keeping positive energy, like, I don't let people come to me and tell me stuff people said about talk to me. I don't want him to put in the comments, nigga, fucking thumb thug, and you gonna come say what you gotta say and run out the room and then go in the comments. That's some bitch shit if I never heard of it. I'm not calling him a bitch. It's just bitchish. Let me be clear. I'm not calling that man a bitch. I'm just saying that was some bitch-ish type of shit to do. I don't know. I don't roll with those kind of people. I have disagreements with the people in my life all the time. And we have conversations and we have mediations and we talk and come to agreements. It don't have to be all that. It don't have to be all that. Before you address me, nigga, who are you? I don't know. Some nigga from Tennessee. I don't know. So, like, yeah, he got me upset. Of course that was upsetting, but I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I got some indica in there waiting for me. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I actually feel better though, because I got to say things that have kind of been pent up for a long time, especially when you see people talking about you and they never invite you into the conversation. Like, I'm watching these things happen and I'm like, when am I going to get to say my part in any of this? Y'all talking about me, but you won't talk to me. And that was my exact feedback to KKC. You're having all this conversation about me, but you won't talk to me. What does that say? Like, what you running from, yo? Like, what? I've offered to go on his show, help you build them 1,000 views you trying to get. I'm past that. I'm gonna help you build them 1,000 views so people can see your face. Okay. But he wouldn't. I said, I matter of fact, I told him, I said, I'll be back in the States next week. My flight was just finally confirmed. I know for sure this flight is gonna go. I'm not scoring Seth Marie. Seth Marie, I think you're Umar. I'm gonna be honest with you, Seth Marie. I've done my little research on you, but no, I'm not scoring. Like I said, I get my spiritual work done to make sure my energies are clear. Before we went into this age of Aquarius, I made sure I got a Reiki massage to make sure my energies were clear. My last Reiki massage, not a nigga showed up. Not a man came up in my. If you've ever gotten Reiki done, you know it's a combination of tarot and crystals and a whole bunch of other stuff to clear your energy and reveal what you're holding on to physically. Not one man came up in my Reiki. And I have men in my life and we have very positive relationships. I have very positive relationships with men. I'm not scorned. I think that a woman at my age, I'm 40. I've said before, at my age, if you're holding on to scorn, it's dangerous because we have a lot against us at 40 years old. We got heart disease, breast cancer, people's hair falling out. You can start getting ugly, your hips spread too wide. A whole bunch of stuff can start happening when you turn 40, and you can't afford to hold on to negative energy. So what I've done with men, because I can be honest, like I didn't know how to date. I wasn't ever taught that stuff. I was only taught don't have sex till you're married. There's a lot I didn't know. So I made a lot of mistakes with relationships. Fortunately, none of them have been super detrimental. But I've learned how to just make a man my friend. I don't have to be mad at you because you didn't treat me well. That was my fault for not setting the right standard. So let me put you in the box and now we're friends. And I've got friends who are my friends who we started out romantically and it wasn't going to work out. So we became friends. I don't have a reason to be scorned. You never know. Like, relationships can morph. I told my husband when I was married, assume that anyone I met before I met you, I fucked them. Because when you're young, you don't have the common sense to say, oh, this person is supposed to be in my life in this way. And no, it's just all about pheromones and hormones and orgasms and shit. So like, I've made a lot of mistakes with relationships. I don't have a problem saying that. Yeah, who hasn't? I would be stupid and I would have nothing to teach and I might start, doing more videos about the things I've learned as a woman. about choosing love and how to have a perception and know what you want and get it. I currently have a very, very happy love life. I'm not in a relationship with anyone, and everyone that I'm dating, I'm very happy dating. We're very, very happy. So I don't have any scorn. I couldn't go into these new things holding on to old shit. But Seth Marie, I do believe that you are Umar. I've been watching you, but you actually, yeah, yeah, I think you're Umar. I'm sure you're Umar. You're either Umar or Umar's daddy. But no, I'm not scorned. It wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't my situation with Umar wasn't one in which I could be scorned. It actually led me into this amazing process of understanding different kinds of relationships and how you attract them based on your own energy. And so I had to really take a look at myself because I hadn't, it was a very lightweight situation with Umar. It wasn't anything heavy. It wasn't anything deep, nothing like that. But when I notice a man isn't giving me the kind of attention I want or treating me the way that I want, it ain't no love lost. You just see it for what it is and keep it moving. And I've had that conversation with him. I've, I've had that conversation with him. Okay. Um, let's see. Anything else? You didn't finish your sentence, Seth Marie. I wonder if there was something else you wanted to say. You said, okay, believe you, tell the haters all the time. What do you tell the haters all the time? Who? What haters? Who are haters? What's a hater? I don't know. Dr. Johnson has an active oh yeah, this is Umar. Yeah, Umar has an active passport. That doesn't mean he takes care of his kids because my daughter's father has an active passport too. But when he goes to renew it, he might run into some trouble. Umar Johnson currently is legally under an active visa to China. He's got a 10-year visa. He can go back and forth to China any way he wants to. That doesn't mean he takes care of his kids though, because if my passport is so here's my passport because I'm a traveler, so I keep one on me. And my passport expires in 2026. If I was in a child support situation right now, my passport would not get revoked because I owe child support. What would happen is when thank you, Nini. Um, what would happen is in 2026, when I go to renew this passport, they would say, oh, you can't renew your passport because you owe at least $2,500 in child support. The open case that I have in Charlotte, if that were a felony and I went to go renew my passport, I wouldn't be able to renew it. It's not a felony though. Yeah, y'all know that's Umar. Don't nobody call Umar Dr. Johnson but Umar. Hi, Umar. um, the criminal record. I mean, I've seen stuff that does corroborate a criminal record. I got to be honest. Haven't put it out there yet, but I definitely have seen some reliable stuff. The Dr. Johnson wording also makes me think of Tiffany. Yeah, that could be Tiffany. Um, I don't invite Tiffany to a conversation because I don't think she could have one with me the way it needs to be had. Now I have seen. It's kind of weird to me since you mentioned Tiffany. I've seen Tiffany show more respect to women than she's shown to men, and I thought that was interesting. I mean, I just thought it was interesting because, she seems to be a traditional Pan Africanist woman, and as a traditional Pan Africanist woman, there's just this high esteem for men because that's the way the thing is set up. Um, so to see her give women who don't agree with her more respect than she gives men, I mean, she's talked to men in a dogged way. And I don't know why they let her. Delta girl, you crazy. She said, let me stop chatting before he finds a way to block me. Umar ain't never blocked me. I say what I want on his Instagram. He ain't never blocked me. Never. ever. Not on any platform. Not on Twitter, not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on YouTube, not in WhatsApp. He's never blocked me. And I've gone into his chat and said, stop showing these pictures of these buildings. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been wearing these pants all day. You know how sometimes when you've been wearing them all day, you got to fix them. I've gone into his Instagram and be like, stop showing these pictures of this building. That ain't what the building look like. Tell these people what this building really look like. Like, I've read him in his chat. He's never blocked me, and he's never deleted my comment. Hold on. Oh, that's my baby snoring. I thought something was wrong. That girl is off. She is asleep. Yeah, she goes off on the guys because they let her. But you know, as a woman, there's some things we can get away with saying to men that men can't say to men. But what she doesn't really understand, and I'll go ahead and just talk about her, it makes her so unattractive. Like, she already got enough working against her. So for her to talk to men the way that she does publicly, like if there was a man pursuing her, he would be scared. He'd be scared of her. He'd be scared of her. Um, Men judge her looks, but I don't think that men would judge her looks if she didn't put herself out there and say the things that she said. I really don't think so. Um, there have been other women that have been connected with Umar that weren't that attractive, and nobody dogged them because she puts herself out there. Like literally, if you're not a representative of Umar Johnson or FDNG, why are you speaking about issues as if you know? I made the same mistake. Another thing, Seth Marie says, scammers don't have public numbers or even, oh yeah, this is Umar. Hey, Umar. Just another thing, scammers don't have public numbers or on their events posted. Yes, they do. You think people didn't have Bernie Madoff's phone number? You mean to tell me nobody had Jim Jones' phone number? Nobody knew Jim Jones' Twitter? Come on now. Scammers put their what's a public number? Umar, you got 2 cell phones. Quit playing. That number that you give everybody, you don't even answer that number. It's not a public number, it's a vanity number. You know that. Umar, you making a you're going to embarrass yourself because you're defending yourself here, but we already know who you are and what you get into. These little things about your phone number on a flyer, you think the fire festival nigga didn't have his phone number somewhere? Umar, Dr. Johnson has his 6 degrees. When I went to China, I had 6 degrees too because they didn't have that kind of deodorant in China, so I took it with me. But you don't have to. Let's just do this from an educated standpoint. A double major is not 2 bachelors; it's 1. Do I believe you have a bachelor's degree? Yes. Do I believe that you have a master's of education in school psychology? Yes. Do I believe you completed your doctorate and defended your dissertation? No. See, I have 6 hours shy of a master's degree in church planting. I took every class, I wrote every paper, I even wrote my thesis and defended it. But on the day of exams, I didn't take them. I had some personal stuff going on in my family. So I didn't take my exams. So I didn't get my master's. I took all the classes, wrote the master's thesis, and defended it. But I didn't take the final exams because I had personal stuff going on in my family. So I didn't get my master's degree. So I can't count it as a degree, even though I would love to, because it would look so good on my damn resume. But I can't put a master's of what was my master's in? Master's of shit. Shit, I forget. Master's of something in church planting. I can't put that master's on my resume because it's not for real. And the kind of work I do, people actually check. Charlemagne confirmed. You talking about Charlemagne confirmed it, as did Roland Martin and Fox Soul. Oh, Jesus. Charlemagne chooses to be misinformed. Your husband resume? That's funny. I don't know even how to do that. I asked Umar if anybody had sent him wifey resumes, and he looked me in my face and said, yeah. And I was like, I would never send you a resume. I am the resume. I ain't auditioning to be nobody's woman. That's a compliment, and I appreciate it. Talk of New York. Can you send me your husband resume? You know, I um I look forward to the man that I will spend my life with as my husband. I'm working really hard to make sure that I am um, who he needs me to be. I'll just put it like that. Um, yeah, Delta girl, raise your hand if you see Seth is Umar. Raise your hand if you see Seth is Umar, please. Uh, uh, Seth. Yes, spoke to him 3 times on that number. You ain't I've spoken to Umar 3 times on that number too. Umar's called me from that phone number too. What the fuck does that mean? Dr. Johnson got his master's in 2012. Okay, Dr. Johnson, let me ask you a question. Since you want to speak for Dr. Johnson, Seth. Thank you guys. I see your hands. Do I fear Seth? Seth should fear me. Um, Let me ask you a question. Since Seth is here and Seth wants to defend Dr. Johnson about these degrees, I'm not having a conversation about no motherfucking degrees when it's a whole goddamn fucking insurrection academy that this person wants to erect to make our black boys less likable than they are now and in more of a dangerous situation. When there's a man who is trying to cultivate a cult of people and making people fast during the winter months. Who does that? Who makes people fast during the winter months? And work outside in the cold all day while he makes them fast and pick up dead birds and wipe mold off walls. I could give a fuck if you have 12 degrees. Let's be clear. The atrocities you're committing in the black community make you absolutely worthless. The things that you said about black girls and black women, hood rats, thoughts, hoes, rotten cookies. Let's talk about that. Seth, what do you think about that? And that's what I say to people whenever I get an opportunity to have a DM with them about Umar. What do you think about Umar calling middle school girls' vaginas rotten cookies? And they be like, what? And so I got to send them a link with a timestamp. And they always are like, well, most of the time, you'd be surprised how much the men aren't sensitive to that information. They don't care. But the women are like, what? When you put it outside of the context of a preacher talking, it sounds very crazy for a man to say we are raising nigglets, especially a man who doesn't have a relationship with his children. How can you say that we're raising nigglets? Listen, my baby got another Christmas present tonight. What the fuck? I got her so much I forgot to I forgot to bring it all in the house. And I was in the trunk today and was like, damn, she got more gifts. So we playing with gifts. My baby didn't get Christmas the whole time she was in China because it just wasn't part of the culture. But now that we're in America, of course, she had a Christmas outfit. We got a tree and all types of shit. Fuck you if you got a problem with it. Tell me I'm raising a niglet. It's a niglet that'll wipe your ass off the planet. Keep playing. Let me go to these comments. No, Seth, talk about the rotten cookies. I know I don't want you to say nothing else till you talk about the rotten cookies, the thottish personality disorder, the thoughts, the hood rats. I don't want you to say nothing else till you talk about the nigglets and the trifling ass black people and the black women that don't work. I don't want you to say nothing about no degrees or no child support or no passport, because I have seen Umar's passport. I've had it in my hand. I've used it before at a hotel to make sure his room was extended the way it needed to be. So I know his legal name is Umar Abdullah Johnson. I've seen his passport, yeah, but that doesn't say anything to me about character. See, I was fucking following the wave too, as far as all the blackity black shit. But after a while, even that didn't start to make sense. You know? How does a man who had a white lawyer tell me I can't marry a white man? Hmm? How does that make any sense? How can a man who doesn't even know his daughter's middle name, and he's told me his child's whole name, he's told me that story to my face. We've had that conversation and beating the little boy's chest in, right? Seth, what you think about Umar saying he's gonna beat little boy's chest in? We, as in him and more than one other adult, would beat a little boy's chest in. Seth, what you got to say about that? And stop trying to kiss my ass. Talking about at least you're not anti-Afro. Look, I don't have a problem with that woman. I'm not doing that. Okay? I'm not doing that. So you can't kiss my ass and say at least you're not her. I'm not doing that. I'm not that easy. You know I play a little harder to get than that. So back to what I was saying, we had a conversation face to face about the situation with his child. We know that Umar hasn't worked in a school in over 10 years. You confirmed that to me yourself. Well, I'm going to say what you said because I don't know what, I'm going to keep that to myself for now. But I know from what you told me that you haven't worked in a school. So when you say you're a therapist and you do therapy with them thugs on the corner and the blah, 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 you a motherfucking lie. You ain't sat in no therapy session with nobody. Because you said yourself that, and this was publicly, that you couldn't intern or apprentice under any other psychologist because you were smarter than them. That was telling. You never heard him say those things, then you don't know Umar Johnson, Seth. If you never heard Umar Johnson say those things, then you don't know Umar Johnson. And you should shut the fuck up talking about him. If you don't know, and I think there's 21 people in this chat, and I guarantee you 20 of them know what I'm talking about. Without me having to get no timestamps or show no videos, everybody in here knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Pound your little chest in, little boy, thottish personality disorder, hoes and thoughts, thugs on the corner that need to be killed at a rate of 10%. Said that twice, if I remember correctly. Little girls' vaginas, rotten cookies, calling women hood rats, saying black people are trifling. You ain't heard none of this, Seth, but you know he got 6 degrees. And you know his passport is valid. You focused on the wrong shit, player. Why did he want to protect that woman so much, but no other women who support him? Umar, you talking about Tiffany, Nene baby? Umar hasn't protected her. Umar has dogged her on camera. And I wish she would see it because I really hope. Let me take one of these out. I really hope that when she sees how that man has talked to her on an open platform, what is this? When she sees how that man has talked to her, I found something in my purse and I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure out what it is before I throw it away. Forgive me. When she sees how he talked to her when he was like, you were late. Tiffany was late. Nigga, I came all the way from motherfucking California in a mini skirt and black tights for your dusty ass. That's what I would have told him. Umar's called himself checking me before and I put him in check. You know, how come you didn't respond to my text messages? Motherfucker, that ain't the me you want to know. You better sit and wait for me to reply. If she could see, I don't know that she even is seeing. He don't treat her like a queen. If he calls her queen, I know what he does because I've been there with him before. I know what happens behind closed doors with Umar. So if he calls her a queen in the public, he don't treat her like one. He doesn't You know, Umar is very big on secrets when it comes to his romantic relationships. You've heard him say in live streams before, like when he was laying on that bed, which time, huh? When he was laying on that bed talking about his first trip to Africa, when he had the spiritual experience in Ghana, he mentioned that he had a couple girlfriends in college that nobody knew about, and you know, he and I had a conversation about no one knowing and us keeping it private. Generally, I would have kept it private, but the question was asked tonight. And at first, I dodged the question because I really don't like to talk about my personal business like that with people I don't know. But I went ahead and asked it because I don't want to get, aside from me not wanting to answer that question, I don't want people speculating. There's been enough speculation. But she doesn't receive what she should. I'm gonna guess that Tiffany's at least 46, probably closer to 50. I've seen her unfiltered. And I'm gonna guess that she's at an age by now where men like Umar shouldn't even be on her radar. They shouldn't even get her attention. I was a young woman. That's an old woman. I'm not judging her, but those are the kind of people that Umar likes around him. You know, it doesn't work once you start to hold him accountable and you hold him to a standard. It doesn't work. It won't work. Um, but you know, the way he's treated her is a turnoff to me. Like for him to be like, Tiffany's late. Nigga, we staying in the same room. What you talking about? I'm late. That's what I would say. We only late because I had to drop you off so I could go back to the room and finish getting dressed. That's what I would have said. Like, late. Nigga, I fund you. Have you ever heard how many times he calls her name when she sends him a cash app? She sent me cash app because he told her to. Any woman who gives money to a man is setting herself up for failure. I don't give money to homeless men. I don't give money to men. I don't pay men's way. I don't do none of that. The stuff that we did with Umar was a team and we were operating on some serious shit. There wasn't no romantic shit. It didn't start out that way. Um, is she in love with Umar? I don't think she knows even what that means. I don't think she really has a grasp on what that means. Right, Danny Brown. Seth can't confirm or deny, but all he know all the details on the degrees. Seth, don't start making me tell your business now. We're gonna call you Seth here. Um, but you know, everybody's welcome to talk here. I love the conversation. No, the person he wanted you to edit out of your video, is so you attracted to Nene baby, one more time, just help me understand what you're saying, because it looks like there's a little typo. Oh, he's unattracted to Tiff. Yeah, he don't want her. I actually don't think they're in any kind of romantic relationship, to be honest with you. Because I don't believe that she'd be speaking this loudly for him the way that she does it, like vile and nasty. Anybody who knows Umar knows that when you defend him, you must do it with a certain amount of decorum. Even though I said some things that were vile and disgusting to Rev G and Anti-Afros Fingales and others, I never cussed anyone out. I never blatantly disrespected anybody. It was all very shady, you know, very nice, nasty, very diplomatic to a certain degree. Nobody could say I called him a bitch or a hoe, goddamn this or fuck that. I didn't talk to them that way because I was representing him and I understood what that meant. That's not the, and I made a comment a long time ago on a video and said, Umar will never be with a woman like Tiffany. She doesn't have enough decorum. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. They might be screwing. I don't care. That's not my business. Wait, let me go up because I saw something. Thank you, Danny. We can pull up the videos where you said these things, but we don't need to because Umar, you know what you said. Now, you might have been on a narcissistic rant a time or two, but the truth of the matter is, Umar, Tiffany or Umar, I really don't believe that's. I ain't never met a man named Seth Marie, and we got the same middle name. Oh Jesus, let me go up a little bit. Ah, missed some stuff. No fear, just facts. Okay, Seth. The rotten cookies comment was especially gross. And I thought that he said at first, take this rock and cook it. It wasn't until Lennon Honor slowed it down and clarified it that I could hear he said, take these rotten cookies. And what man who has two daughters of different age groups, one is entering puberty and one is an adult woman, what man says, cause she gonna jump on his back and say, take these rotten cookies? He's talking about a possible situation between the girl that goes to his school and the boy that goes to his school. He said we need to teach these girls how to conduct themselves around boys because these middle school girls, they be thirsty. And the mamas was like, because y'all was some thirsty, fast ass hoes. I wasn't thirsty when I was in middle school. I didn't even start paying attention to boys until I was in high school. Tevin Campbell was my boyfriend. So, and y'all know he don't even like girls. When I was in middle school, I loved cross. That was my bag. I wasn't into boys like that. There were boys who were into me, but my mom and daddy wasn't having that. My parents were not having boys calling me. So I wasn't thirsty. I wasn't, when he said middle school girls are thirsty, I was like, none of the middle school girls I went to school with were thirsty. We didn't get down like that. We weren't sleeping around and having sex and stuff like that. We were almost adults by the time we actually engaged in that kind of a behavior. I want to read this. ATL Customs, who I've never seen on my channel before, so thank you for being here, said, I've been paying attention to things for a while, and I'm very perspective based. Just listening to you, there are quite a few gaps and spaces over the last few years that your story fills in and fits. Oh, good. Very good. I'm glad I can clarify some of those things. And there's probably a lot of gaps in my story too, because we're talking about a span of time. Delta Girl says, Seth. Seth says, well, look, we know who you are. Yep, beating little boy's chest in. I mean, the thing about Umar is hurt people hurt people. And you never hear Umar say what he's going to do. You hear him say what other people are going to do. He's talking about a group of men having a black room in the school, and the group of men are going to beat this little boy's chest in for disrespecting his mom. Not Umar, because Umar ain't got hands. But a group of men. So, like, this is the same thing with the things he does where he tells people to go out and get people's information. Umar stays up late nights trying to figure this shit out. And that's why I put my face on these videos. You ain't got to dox me. I don't have any secrets. I don't mind telling y'all my name. I won't tell you where I live because that's a whole different safety measure. And that's not even for y'all. That's for me. China's still trying to find out where I live. So I definitely can't tell you guys where I live. But he always is trying to get other people to do other things to other people. And he used me in that sense. He definitely did. And I let him use me. And I didn't know I was being used. But at some point, I was like, now I'm being attacked. And this man isn't coming out saying anything in my defense. And I just come from a neighborhood where me and my man fight together. I grew up in a Spanish neighborhood, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban. Shit, nigga never had to fight. Women had to fight for him, but shoot, eventually the nigga had to jump in. And he never even jumped in. Never. Not once. And then when I made that video for him and he didn't even thank me directly, I was like, oh, I'm sensitive to that shit. I'm very sensitive to that stuff. Seth Marie, what are your thoughts about him saying trifling black people after black people had given him $250,000 in 6 months for a project? The poorest people on the planet. What are your thoughts about him saying? What do you think? Tell us what you think about that? Whether it was out of frustration because he wasn't getting what he wanted right now, or what? What do you think the impact of that was? How did it make you feel to hear him say those things about you as his supporter? After you had given him money, obviously, you're obviously one of his loyal donors. And Seth Marie, you might be a woman because your name's Marie. So what do you think about him saying that black women don't work and calling out two women at that at that cleanup day, who were working in the cold with no heat, picking up dead birds and shit, telling them, he told one man, Miss Lois ain't done nothing. She ain't picked up nothing. Nigga, you ain't picked up nothing. Seth Marie, what are your thoughts about that? Yeah, he says, thank you, Danny. You are so on point. I'm sorry, that's Delta Girl. You've been working in the system for 20 years. No, you haven't. You haven't worked in the system for over 10 years. That's like me. That's like me saying I've been working in restaurants for 30 years because I worked at Burger King back in 1994. I've been in the restaurant business for 30 years. No, that's like me saying now I've been a corporate manager for 15 years, but no, I stopped managing corporately in 2016. I literally resigned as a corporate manager and retired from management. I no longer work in management. I worked in management for 14 years as a corporate manager. That's like me saying I've been teaching English for 5 years. I haven't taught English since this time last year when the pandemic hit. January 10th was the last day I worked as a teacher. So I can't say I've been teaching for 5 years when I have not taught a class since January of this year. I was. See, we got to do this game of truth semantic telling. And I don't mind doing it. I was married to a liar, so I've gotten used to breaking things down. But like, the man has not been in his profession for 20 years. Wouldn't that mean that he became a school psychologist in 2000? But it doesn't jive with the resume. It doesn't jive with the resume. And on the resignation letter from the UNINA, you refer to yourself as doctor, and you didn't have a doctorate at that time. You were a doctoral candidate, but you were not a doctor. You weren't a doctoral done it. You hadn't done it. I'm not gonna say the name of the school that he worked at. He called it out at his hearing, and then he posted something on Twitter the next day saying he resigned. And I asked him why he did that, and he said because he didn't want people reaching out to that school and bringing drama to that school. Really, what he didn't want was for the court, that wasn't even a court. He kept calling that court. It wasn't court. What he didn't want was for the Board of Psychology to find out that he hasn't been working in a school because that's the one mistake he made. He's been going around saying, I'm a therapist, I'm a psychologist, right? You technically can't say that because you don't work in a school. And in order for you to do therapy, two things have to be in place. And correct me if I'm wrong, but two things have to be in place. You have to work for a public school as a school psychologist, and you have to be apprenticing or working under somebody else's supervision where they give you feedback. And we know Umar ain't taking no feedback. Where they coach you and they train you and they performance manage you. And nobody's going to performance manage the great and mighty Umar Johnson. So those things were not in place. The school that he mentioned that he resigned from, he's not worked at in years. Let me go back down. Y'all, it's 80 degrees in here and it's cold. That's how hot it is where I live. It's 80 degrees in here and I'm cold. Um, but I noticed that you never said anything directly responding to the questions that I asked you. I don't have a problem answering questions directly. But you never answered those questions about pound your damn chest in, little boy. I mean, I'm just asking you directly about him calling black people trifling. And you still haven't answered that. Hey, stone gatherer. My baby is a stone gatherer. She has a little collection over there. She loves stones. She gonna be a worker. She gonna be something awesome. Let me just go back up. Yeah, Danny, he's contradicting himself because he is a contradiction. She be having them weed breath. Talking New York, and I was like, Tiffany wears a weave. Why? But then again, so did Kim Ringo. She wore a weave too. Let me read your comment though. He said, I'm trying to read it with a straight face. She be having them weave braids. That's why he treat her bad. I guess he like women with their real hair. I guess I don't know, but I don't know. I wish he would pop off on me like that in public, talking about some damn you were late. And she had a full face of makeup on and an inappropriate outfit. She was late because she was trying to get cute for yo raggedy ass. You should have just told her she looked pretty and kept it moving. Delta Girl said obsessed. Oh God, here comes Seth Marie with the bullshit. Just remember, it took LeBron and Jalen Rose 7 to 8 years to get their schools up and running. Well, Umar, it's been 11. They're both multimillionaires. Both of them received city, state, nationwide funding. Word to the wise. Well, Umar, if you were smart when the pandemic hit, you got unemployment because your business was shut down. And that unemployment was paid by government funding. And we're still waiting for legislation to get passed now so we can have some more unemployment. In the state that I live in, people are waiting. People are waiting for the state to pass legislation, the government, the federal government to pass legislation so they can know they're going to be able to pay their rent. Umar, you had a white lawyer. You fucked a stripper who wore a blonde weave. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, where the consistency is between what you say and what you do. You call black women bitches in private. You hate light-skinned people. Can we just, like, we talk about LeBron James and him taking 7 to 8 years to open a school, but it's open. And that's not even the only shit that they've done. In those 7 to 8 years, they had other stuff that was tangible. And why is it so bad to take government funds if I pay taxes? That's my money. J.G. Wentworth said, use it when you need it. Have I ever been on food stamps before? Yeah, that's my money. When I got food stamps, I considered that to be my money I was getting back because I've been paying that bitch FICA since I was 14 years old. So it's a walking contradiction for you to show the school to Europeans for them to possibly buy one of the buildings, but sit here and talk about government funding. But you have an EIN number so you can be tax exempt. Don't you realize that EIN number is like a subsidy? So you're literally taking government money. Whenever you don't have to pay taxes for something because of that EIN, you're taking government money, bitch. That came out before I could stop it. I'm sorry. It came out. It's out there now. You have 2 EIN numbers, and for the last several years, you've collected donations under those EIN numbers, and you've been tax exempt in several places. You're taking government funds, Umar. If you didn't get a paycheck protection loan from the government when all this shit hit, I wish I would have got it. I wasn't here. But if you didn't get that, Umar, you stupid. You want to talk about reparations? Who you think it's gonna come from? Mexico? You think Ghana's gonna give us reparations? Ghana won't even open their doors to us like they say they do. That's a farce. I love my Ghanaian people, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. That country's not open to us like they say it is. That's something to look good on camera. Ain't no path to repatriation in Ghana. That's why most of us haven't gone yet. Ay, ay, ay. Let me give respect to that comment and finish reading it. Oh no, I did finish. Okay. Tierra said, OMG, I love Tevin Campbell. Girl, that was my man. Hear me? I was so jealous to see him with Ashley Banks. Girl, I was ready to fight that hoe. She talking about some mind your business. I was like, mind your business. Oh God, Seth is Umar Johnson. Because only Umar talks about LeBron and Jalen Rose, successful black men who can get it. The Stone Gatherer. Oh, hello. Delta, thank you. Yeah, I guess this is good. I wasn't planning on this live being this long, but I appreciate you guys. I don't really go live on my channel. Usually I record a video, edit out the times when my daughter interrupts me or I lose my temper. And then I put it up and make it all pretty. But this is good too. And just like I really just want to say, like, I'm not at war with anybody. Anybody can block me from their chat. It's their chat. They can have opinions about me and my intentions. That's up to them. If they feel like I've done anything illegal, I ask them to pursue me legally and take the proper legal channels to put me in my place and serve justice upon me. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about people and do all that. At least you're not anti-Afro. I'm not doing that. I appreciate the things that she said and the consistency in which she shared information. Literally. I've listened to her videos at night and fell asleep while I listened to them and was moved to listen to her videos, because when you've supported someone so strongly and you realize they're inauthentic as she helped me understand he was, because I didn't know a lot of this shit. I was sad for a long time. There's a grieving process that goes along with that, and I don't think anybody acknowledges that. You know, there's a paradigm shift, and that kind of presents a tearing away, and I don't think a lot of people understand that, because people usually get in something and stick. But I choose to let life teach me, and I choose to be willing to learn from my mistakes and do different. I'm not in church anymore because I learned some things, even though I was a staunch Christian. You know, now I'm saying the things to people that people said to me about the church and why I won't join or go. You know, so like I've got friends and I'm like, what's wrong with you, Elsie? We used to do this and sing and do this ministry together. And I'm like, you live and you learn. You know, so like if they don't believe me, okay, that's not gonna stop me from doing what I gotta do. I'm not I'm not dependent. I never asked anybody for permission to start making videos. I never told anybody, hey guys, I'm gonna make videos, please support me. I didn't reach out to Let Me See Your Transcript. She reached out to me. I didn't ask Rev G to talk to him. He asked me to talk to him. And I declined. At the time, I wasn't ready to talk. And I told him, I don't think I have anything to add, because I wasn't ready to talk yet. So like, I don't have a problem if, look, I'm not at war with none of this stuff. It's so many bigger problems. ATL Customs said, what about raising donations from the people to build or buy a school? Raising donations to renovate the school and then pay to attend the school they bought and rented. Oh shit, man. ATL Customs, I wish there was a way I could bring you in here so you could say that in your own voice. And it makes me want to cry, literally, because we are the poorest people on the planet and we're desperate. And we were so desperate that we put our hope and our faith and our money in a man who had no intentions on doing anything good for us. And it makes me sad because this cycle continues itself generation after generation. There's always one. Our mamas and daddies had one. Their mamas and daddies had one. Excuse me. You know, there's always somebody targeting us from us, you know? And when Flacco, I don't know if you're still here, but when you asked me last night why was it appropriate for people to call Yasas and report it, I lived in a country where people were dropping dead of COVID in the street, just dying left and right. And it was being kept a secret. So I don't take it very lightly to see a business having a gathering. This woman, I went to get my pedicure today at a chink shop. Yes, some Chinese people, Vietnamese people did my toes. I went outside my race to get my toes. Oh, Jesus. I went to a Vietnamese shop to get my toes done today. And there was a woman who works there who had a gathering at her house this weekend for Christmas. And she had 30 people at her house. And two of her coworkers told the owner of the shop, and he told her not to come to work for 2 weeks. And she was angry with her coworkers. But that's the Asian attitude. You know, the Asian attitude generally is I do what's wrong, but I get mad when people call me out on it. And it's really serious there. It's like I'll pee in the street, but don't tell me I'm wrong for peeing in the street, even though I'm not supposed to. They get embarrassed about being called out. They have a lot of what's called face. Saving face is very important in Asian culture. So this woman got mad because people told the boss that she had a gathering and she couldn't come to work for 2 weeks. But what if she had come to work with a asymptomatic COVID contraction after having those 30 people in her house? And the situation, Flacco, you mentioned some very important things. You said you don't know what the setting was. Well, that's why you send the authorities in. Now, Umar being there was a byproduct. I'm pretty sure the phone calls were to shut that event down so Umar wouldn't speak. But we also know Umar doesn't care about the health and safety of Black people. So why would we allow an event to go forward where people can be exposed? Umar has been to every single hot spot in the fucking country. New York, Chicago, Detroit, Florida, everywhere, California. He's been to every hot spot, traveling from place to place, spitting on these motherfucking books before he sells them, carrying something. He's been on airplanes. He's been in taxis. So it's okay for him to host an event during a pandemic without the authorities being made aware. Black people were dying of COVID and still are, left and right. And this man is so desperate for whatever he got to get into that he'll go around the country selling books just to get a dime and putting people's lives at risk. Y'all didn't see when he was at that table and the dinner table when he was trying to videotape that woman and she didn't want to be videotaped. There was a woman at that table with her mask on. And I say she shouldn't even have been there. She was at a table with her mask on because she knew this shit was serious. She shouldn't even have been there. So, like, aside from that being a Black-owned business, they were holding an irresponsible gathering during a fucking pandemic in New York, of all places. A hot spot. I couldn't even fly into New York because of the situation. They would have quarantined me. I gotta read ATL Customs comment again, y'all. What about, I'm gonna read it like I wrote it, if it's okay. What about raising donations from the people to build or buy a school raising donations to renovate the school, and then making people pay to go to the school they paid to build. Mm. That's like these loner Doyles, these loyal donors out there painting, thinking they're privileged because they out there painting with Papa. They think they're privileged because they're out there getting some attention from somebody who doesn't give a fuck about them. Seth Marie said, I love you, by the way. Don't agree with Dr. Johnson on everything. He is not perfect. We know that. That goes without saying. He's seen how these rough cops. Hold on. Sorry, there's something covering. Oh, excuse me. Oh Lord, I gotta go back up. Don't agree with Dr. Johnson on everything. He's not perfect. He's seen how those rough cops are getting $1 million in weeks, as well as the community spending money on disposable stuff. But that has nothing to do with him raising money, not doing what he's supposed to do with it. Fuck that. Miss me with that bullshit. I raised money and I did what I was supposed to do with it. It didn't feel good. I had all that money in my cash app that was being invested, and I was getting all them yields and all them dividends. But I had to take that money and do what I was supposed to do with it. It didn't feel good, but it was what I had to do. You can't tell me that. How do you know that? Because he's never said these these rogue cops getting $1 million and community spending money on disposable stuff. Disposable stuff like what? Grits and soap. Well, sir Umar, you went to the Pearl Market in Beijing, remember? And you shot that bitch down. You didn't tell the people that, did you? You didn't tell the people you went to the Pearl Market, the world famous Pearl Market in Beijing, and shot that motherfucker down, did you? So you can't sit here and talk to me about disposable stuff, Umar. You've gone to people's countries and spoken about absolutely nothing, Umar. Got on stages and said everything you said this week on Instagram, Umar. So you can't tell me about road cops and disposable spending of black people. I'm going to give my baby grit. Them her motherfucking grits. Come take them from her. I dare you. I'm going to give my baby Christmas. That's her Christmas. Come take it from her. I dare you. And I give her chocolate too. Now what? When the last time you gave your baby some chocolate? When the last time you spent some of your disposable income on your children? Seth, Marie, you're deflecting. You can't tell me that it justifies him getting money from people. And I actually was like, shit, they done gave you the money. You ain't got to do what you said you do. I didn't know it was illegal. I knew it was wrong, but I didn't know it was illegal. I've never done that before. I've never raised money for something and didn't do what I said I was going to do with it, because whenever I raised money, it was from something I actually needed to do. So that money was a relief for what I needed. You know, I raised money for the Nation of Islam's local organizing committee in Charlotte. We did with that money what we said we were going to do. You know, I mean, you can't tell me that justifies you getting all this money you've gotten. We know it's more than 750 because you said back in the day that the sales from the first book were going to build a school. Remember, Umar, Seth Marie? You said, I sure hope I sell $1 million worth of books so I can build this school for black boys, Umar. So if you're talking about 750 because of Cash App, what about the book sales? You just said a while back that people are buying your books and that's going to help build a school. So what you're saying by proxy is that these book sales are for the school. So where are you including that? And you selling this fake ass book with a fake ass ISBN number and no sources. It ain't a scholar on the planet that would support that shit, including myself. And I'm not even a scholar. There's nobody that would support that. So don't come in and Seth, you're welcome to say what you want, but I'm gonna argue with you about that one. You can't sit here and say he got frustrated. He's seen how those road cops were getting $1 million in weeks. So he was like, okay, since they scamming people, I'm a scam too. And I still ain't heard you talk about him calling black people trifling. What justifies a man verbally abusing his people like that? See, I grew up in a verbally abusive household. So that stuff became familiar to me. I thought that's just the way people were supposed to talk to each other. You don't have to call him Dr. Johnson out of respect. He don't respect you. He called you trifling. Every platform he's been on called him Dr. Johnson, PhD. I've never heard anybody call him Dr. Johnson, PhD. Have you guys ever heard anybody call him Dr. Johnson, PhD? I've heard people call him Dr. Johnson, and he introduces himself as a PhD. But I've never heard people call him Dr. Johnson, PhD. That's weird. It's just weird. Umar. So ATL Customs says, the clarity and eloquence in your speech is what does it for me. Oh, I appreciate that. When you can speak, make your point very clear without moving from your square, getting upset, speaks volumes. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for saying that. Yes, and he keeps a nice sense of humor. Let's see. I'm waiting for this chat to go down a little bit. Oh gosh, there's a comment that I need to approve to come in. Let me just go and read it. Hold on one second. But I'm gonna get to that one. Danny, there was a comment that you made that it wants me to read before I approve it. Danny said, black buying power is a myth that comes from white consumers. It's true. We don't have any buying power. You got to read Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson, who Umar Johnson never quotes. I have the book. It's in my closet. I only own a couple books, and that's one of them. Yeah, we don't have spending power. We don't have buying power. We don't have any power. Not for real. I don't want to miss any of this. Yes, it hurts. We need, and people continue to take. Yeah. ATL Customs, people take advantage of us over and over again. Seth Marie said, if Black America was a country, it would be the 10th richest country from reports. Okay, Seth, which report? And that's probably true. It probably would be. We have a certain amount of income, but we don't have buying power. Come on, Umar. There's a difference between having money that comes in and having buying power, because if we had buying power, we wouldn't be the lowest amount of homeowners. We have the least amount of wealth. We have 0.5% of America's wealth, according to Dr. Claude Anderson. So, like, if we'd be the 10th richest country, then we have the highest rent. The money's going to go somewhere. All this talk about Black people buying Gucci. I saw people on Instagram with Gucci under their tree. None of them motherfuckers I knew. I saw Phaedra Parks and people who had money. They probably bought those gifts with their money. But they're not the average Black person. I'm the average Black person, and I know where my money goes. I'm in it. My money goes to where I live. I'm lucky I don't have a car note. I own my car outright because I don't believe in car notes. Y'all never pay a car note. If you got a car, own it. Buy it. Buy what you can pay for. If you got to get a loan on a car, you can't afford it. Go buy what you can pay for. Ride the bus while you stack some dough. But everything, my daughter's tuition so I can go to work, like everything, I make money, but it's literally, I splurged on a pedicure today because I have to do that stuff. You got to take care of your feet. We don't all want our feet looking like yours, Umar. Oh, God. Okay, so ATL said, I run businesses mainly geared toward building and developing Black businesses. It hurts us as a whole when situations like Umar not only take resources that could actually be going where they need to. Could you imagine? This question has been asked several times. Could you imagine if all that money was given to Q Butter or Nipsey? Those are brothers that were really doing stuff in their community. Could you imagine if the money we gave to Umar we had given to Q Butter, who just made sure all of his students had Chromebooks so they could do homeschooling? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Umar Johnson actually did build a school? Now, I'm not talking about the Umar Johnson we know who wants to punch little boys' chests in. I'm talking about the one he wants us to see. The conscious, knowledgeable, professional guy. Could you imagine if he actually started a real school that let's just say it did elevate the Black consciousness of Black boys, not the one he's talking about, the Insurrection Academy. If you haven't heard about that, look at his Kwanzaa Day. Look at my video that I did on Umar a couple days ago, where it says Umar Johnson said FDMG is not a school. You got to look at that. But let's just say that's not what he's doing. Let's just say he's trying to build a conventional school as we all hope it would be. Could you imagine how powerful that would be for our people? Because I believe in raising my children in consciousness. I got to donate Black dolls to my daughter's daycare because they don't have none. They got these Black girls playing with white dolls. Could you imagine? Oh, Tiara, I'm so sorry to hear that. Baby, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I pray that it's something that they can get over and get through. I have seen people have it and be fine. That's hard to hear, and I'm so sorry to hear that. And if I made a video I haven't posted on social media yet because I'm kind of scared, to be honest with you. But I made a video about how China is profiting off of this, and it's so sick. Like, there's these products you see. Hold on, let me go in my bag and get it. I think I got one in the bottom of my purse. Got everything in this bag. Hold on. Yeah, when y'all be looking for stuff, do you ever have to pick up your purse and turn it around so you gotta reshift stuff? So this right here, this is a mask. Hold on. This is a mask, right? That was made in China, right? But I find it very ironic that you'll never see a person in China walking around with a mask that looks like this. Because masks in China, it's a very serious thing. We've been wearing masks in China for a long time because of the pollution and because people are sick. So you don't see people walking around in these decorative, beautiful masks, but China's making them for the rest of the world and making money off of it. And that's all I can legally say about that. That's all I can say about that. Okay, so the comment that Danny made, and I'm pretty sure it was fine, so I'm just going to go ahead and show it. It says, Black people do not collectively have some unharnessed $1 trillion of wealth. This is a lie that comes from white people to blame Black people for their own poverty. And I have no idea why YouTube would want me to approve that before it's shown, because that is 100% fact. We don't have the wealth that when you look. The thing that bothers me about us as people is we shame each other financially. We talk about people wearing fake jewelry and fake this, but we are poor people. This African man was on a video on Instagram with some fake Balenciagas. Just think about that for a second. I don't wear fake brands. Like, if my bag is a name, it's that. It has a serial number, it's registered, it's that. This Louis Vuitton is a real Louis Vuitton. But think about the mindset of people who go around wearing fake brand names, name brands. They want to look like they're of a certain status and socioeconomic class, but they don't have access to that kind of wealth. So they'll wear something that's similar to it so they can gain that same kind of approval from society. Walking around wearing fake brand names, which Black people do all the time, so that we can feel or be treated like we have a certain amount of income, but we don't. We are the poorest people on the planet, collectively. Black people, African people. We are. How many of us have friends that went to college and couldn't finish because they couldn't get the money to finish? Not like they didn't want to. They didn't have the money. They didn't have it. I mean, I'm a college educated woman and I'm not gainfully employed. I'm not. I said earlier, and let me see your transcripts live. The bag is not in America. I left America to get the bag because I was making good money at Apple. I was making almost $100,000 a year, but it's expensive to live in this country at a certain status. When you after you pay for the house and the cars, I had a Benz and an F-150, both paid for, but I had to pay for them. That's what I mean when I say if we got all this money, that means we got high rent because we don't have disposable income. We don't have disposable income. I think Yvette Carnell made it plain that the average black family is worth about $500. The average white family is worth over $1 million. I had to teach my mama that. We ain't rich people like we think we are. Um, hmm. Yeah, and especially, and Danny, I made a video in the last video that I made about Umar Johnson. I mentioned that whole bourgeoisie thing and how we've been taught it wrong. But no, what Danny said that I'm commenting to, he said, it bothers me a lot to see black people repeat that myth about us being so rich, especially the bourgeois blacks, which bourgeois is not what we think it is. The original bourgeoisie were some of the poorest French people. They were the artisans, the merchants, the handy workers. That was the bourgeois class. So when we talk about bourgeois people in America, I'm bourgeois. I'm working class. And I'm bourgeois. I'm bourgeois and I'm bougie. But the bourgeois black person looking for handouts from a generally poor black mass, like, most of them, reviewed Dr. Jared Ball's work. I've never heard of Jared Ball. Danny, is it possible you can get me some information? My email address is necessarybusinessdone@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat. Wait, I thought I was chatting. I thought I was typing. Okay, there we go. Computer is slow, y'all. It doesn't have that fast of a NIC card, so it's a little bit slow. I just got what I needed to be able to come back and attach myself to some resources. You can't do that much without a computer nowadays. I'm sure Don knows that. ATL Customs said, you made a statement or posted a question earlier. Have you ever heard of Umar donating to anything? Right. He hasn't even invested in his own kids and his own ventures. You've never heard him say, I matched funds, I'm doing a match, blah, blah, blah. So when he gave to me, I literally said out loud, and my girlfriend was sitting right in front of me. I said, okay, he's bought my silence for a couple weeks. That's what I said. Okay, he's bought my silence for a couple weeks. Because I had started, talking about him publicly, and I kind of felt like he did that to show. Okay. So, Umar, you are familiar with the subject? So why do you keep reporting the lie that we're wasting money on grits and shit? Because I was raised on oatmeal. We don't buy grits around here, and I will make it now. I'm gonna tell you something. I went to a HBCU, unlike you, Umar. So I'm gonna tell you what to do with some motherfucking grits. You take them bitches and you cook them real thick, but you gotta put. Damn, I'm about to tell you a secret. You gotta put some butter and garlic salt in them. Just make them real good. Make them real thick. Scramble some eggs and some cheese and fry some bacon and cut it up. So you put the grits in a big pot, like a stew pot. The seasoned grits, and then put on top of it a layer of cheese. And then you put on top of that a layer of scrambled eggs, and then some more cheese and some more bacon. And then you might have the HBCU experience and be able to tell me something about being black. Dr. Claude is the best. Seth Marie. Dr. Claude is the best. Umar, I wonder why you never quote Dr. Claude, though. Who cares if Q Butter gets funding from a bank? He's got a school that's doing work with people. Seth, Umar, who cares? You know, Umar, we don't know how many grants you've gotten under this EIN and this nonprofit organization that we don't know about. We don't know how many grants you've gotten. We don't know how many grants you've gotten under this nonprofit organization that you've got. We don't know how many grants you've been given under this EIN and this nonprofit organization that you've got. We have no idea how many grants you've received, how much grant money you've received as a result of this EIN, this new one or the old one, and the nonprofit organization. I could give a fuck if Q Butter. I'm glad Q Butter not got enough credit to get funding from a bank. Do you? Who cares if Umar got? Why wouldn't Q Butter go to the bank to get funding? That's where you go. That's where the money is. A 30-year lease. Okay, and where's your 30-year mortgage? Dr. Johnson wants an independent school that will never open. Listen, Umar, let me tell you something. You keep hiding behind this Pan-African principle as a reason why you won't open that school, and that's a motherfucking lie, because you had a white lawyer who handled the closing. And you know how much closing costs are. Closing costs are at least 3% of the property value. So if you spent $4,000 on that property, you paid at least $1,200 for closing. I'm sorry, I did that all wrong. 12. I'm so bad at math, y'all. I'm an English teacher. I was an English teacher. What's that? 12,000? 4,000 times 3? You spent $12,000 on closing costs, and most of that went to the white lawyer. So, like, you can't tell me who cares. We are proud of Q Butter because Q Butter is actually doing work. There are children actually being educated by him, and his new song, "Message to the Black Man," super duper fire. Where's your album, Umar? Whatever happened to that musical album you were supposed to put together with the donation money you got? Dr. Johnson wants an independent school. A lot of predominantly Black schools get closed down nationwide. They did not meet standards, and neither would yours. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you've never once talked about core academics. Not once have we heard you, Umar, talk about math, science, literature. What am I missing, y'all? I feel like I'm missing something. There's more to school than math, science, and literature, right? Even PE, you don't talk about any of the core subjects that the children are going to learn. So you recently said this is not a school. FDMG is not a school. You said the temporary solution is to have homeschools. My baby be sweating. The temporary solution is to have homeschools and whatever schools you talk about. But the permanent solution is FDMG. And you said FDMG is not a school. It's an intellectual insurrection academy. And you are the Minister of Education and the Minister of Mental Health for the African race. You might not remember saying that the other day because you might have been, but you said it. So you can't talk to me about low standards when you don't even talk about what kids are going to actually learn academically. All you ever talked about was flying boats. I said it. I know what the fuck I just said. That's all you've ever talked about. Flying boats. The kids going to learn how to fly boats. You've never talked about the fact that you're going to help these kids with learning differences. You still use the word disabilities. We don't use those words. We say preferences. They have learning preferences, learning differences. You're still, you haven't even talked about how you're going to raise these boys' academic achievement level and how you're going to, my mom and daddy paid $17,000 a year for my brother to go to a special school so that he could learn how to read and write in the right order because he has dyslexia. And because he was able to get a test and they took him, I was there when they took him to the psychologist and had him tested. He was able to get into the right school, and there was federal funding for it. Because what you may not realize, Umar, is special education is a federal right. So you can't keep it out of your school. There are private colleges that offer special education because it's a federal right. You can't keep it out of your school. ATL said if that that is Umar all day. If that isn't Umar directly, it's one of his women sitting next to him, responding and filtering for him. I don't know. I don't know. That sounds like Umar to me. I'm trying to hear the voice. No, that could be somebody else. What I would suggest you guys do, and I don't know if I can do this on my videos, and the comments go way back, like old videos. Excuse me. Um, I've looked to see how old the channel is, if they post any videos, all that stuff. This is an Umar channel. Um, he's on. Hold on. Damn, I wish I could see what you said, Danny. He's on YouTube under "I'm What I Like" with Jared Ball. Oh, I mix what I like. I need to write that down. Let me see if I got a pen. I mix what I like. Yeah, you can email me. Yeah. Yeah, he bought my silence. Absolutely. Shoot. Oh, you know what? Nah, Danny. I got a sweet sugar recipe, a sweet grits recipe for you too. It's grits, right? But I like my sweet grits a little bit thinner than my salty grits. I like my salty grits thick, but I like my sweet grits thin. And I put sugar and salt and butter to where it's like perfectly salty and sweet. Because I'm from up north. People up north, we eat our grits with sugar. I could do it both ways. Um, Daddy, I hope I didn't disappoint you. Yeah. Delta girl teaching black boys how to fly planes and build ships and ride dirt bikes. Seth, I would like you to tell me this. I'm going to assume you're an authentic, bona fide person for a moment. I would like you to tell me, what is the mission statement of FDMG? Now, I've asked you several questions you haven't answered, but hopefully you can answer this one. What is the mission? Okay, two questions. What is the mission statement of FDNG and where is it written? You should probably open your notebook. And work on the non-alcoholic vegan sports bar. All the non-alcoholic. Who's going to a non-alcoholic sports bar? What they gonna serve? Kool-Aid? What they gonna serve? Orange juice? It's not a bar, my nigga. It's a gathering. It's a social. The non-alcohol, and Umar's not even a vegan. So what are we talking about? He ain't never been vegan. He just says that because he thinks it connects with people's blackness. Because a lot of black people are vegan. I'm not vegan. I'm pescatarian. And listen, if anybody in here is a woman, you know that once that certain time of the month hits, you need you some doggone protein. So I'll boil some chicken. You know, I'll boil some chicken if I need to eat it to get that protein in my body so my body could do what it needs to do without struggling and suffering, because I listen to my body. My body said, Mama, we need protein. It ain't gonna be no fish and shrimp this week. We need us some meat. I can't always get the kind of meat I want because I do live a hypergamous lifestyle, which means I don't live loosely. So shoot, I'll make some meat, but I'm not gonna put that on nobody else. Why does Umar always have to put his shit on somebody else? And he's not even a vegan. Non-alcoholic vegan, I'd be damned if I'm going to a non-alcoholic bar. I could do that shit right here. Watch me. All I gotta do is turn on the highlights from this week's game, and we got a non-alcoholic vegan sports bar right here. Alcoholic. I can't even say it right. Do you believe we have to change our diets? I believe that we need to learn how to listen to our bodies as Africans. I think that we need to learn how to reconnect with our bodies. I don't think everybody needs the same thing because Africa is not a monolith. There's a north, a south, a east, and a west. Sorry, east and west. So different places, and then there's a northeast and a southwest and a central and a blah blah. People have different diets based on their indigenous needs. So like I stopped eating meat when Dr. Sebi passed away. But when my daughter was forming in my belly, my Chinese doctor said you need to go get you some chicken hearts and you need to go get you some pig whatever. Like they only told me what they knew because they're Chinese. But they were telling me like you gotta eat protein because your baby needs it to grow. You need protein in your diet. I know you don't like to eat meat, Ms. Whatever your last name is, but you're gonna have to eat some meat. So I started adding eggs to my diet. I started eating a lot of eggs. I started adding more fish. But I did start eating meat while I was pregnant, and it was hard to kick it. And I still struggle. Now it's more of a lifestyle. I go to it like today. I took my daughter to McDonald's for lunch, and I ate her fries because they got the fillet of fish, but that's a very, very fattening meal too. And there's a lot of fat vegetarians and vegans. There's whole YouTube groups on fat vegans and vegetarians because beer and French fries are vegan and cruelty free, but that doesn't mean your body needs to eat it. So I think it has to be more about an individual decision. I mean, for me, there's a certain amount of vanity that comes to being me. So like I'm not gonna eat meat because I don't like the way it makes my body look. I think that when I eat meat, it makes my stomach swell and it causes swelling for about 3 days. Same thing with potato chips. If I eat potato chips, my stomach is gonna swell for 3 days. Before this whole gluten free thing came about, my mom realized she was gluten free back in the 90s because she listened to her body and started watching how her body would react to certain foods. And even to this day, if she sneaks and eats some gluten, she gonna be up all night coughing. I can't tell people what we need to do. That's an individual decision people got to make with their own bodies. Um, Yeah, there are other sources of protein. I've actually been trying to. Um, I like what Fitz said. Really, you think that's true? That rubbish Umar made up. um, I like to. It was interesting because I had to have meat last week, and there wasn't a shrimp or a lobster or a crab leg that was going to satiate what I needed. And I think I ended up getting some turkey because I learned that I can eat a little turkey without my belly swelling. I just can't get into the habit of eating it. I can eat a little turkey. They got this thing here called carne asada fries. Ooh, they the devil. Ooh, they the devil. And I ate some one Saturday because I was like, oh, I'm gonna eat meat today. And that middle of the night, I was cramping. My stomach was cramping. I was sick because my body wasn't used to processing that food. So, like, I eat shrimp. I eat a lot of shrimp, a lot of crab legs. I don't eat tilapia because it's not real food. But I eat a lot of seafood, eggs. I eat almonds every single day. I make these breakfast and midday shakes, not shakes, smoothies with kale and almonds. Almonds are very important in my diet. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. Um, Yeah, there are a lot of different sources of me. I really need, you mentioned The Messenger. I need to get into that book that Elijah Muhammad wrote. I want to call him the Honorable, but I can't because I know too much. You know too much too. But the message, what is it? The message to the black man? Oh no, how to eat to live. How to eat to live. I think that's what it's called. But I don't get into it real legalistically like they do, real religiously, because them Nation of Islam men don't eat meat, but they fuck everything. Um, Dr. Johnson is nation and world. Oh, God. I love you, Seth Marie. Dr. Johnson is nation and worldwide the number one requested scholar. Can anybody say different? Have respect to that. Who calls Umar Johnson the number one requested scholar beside Umar Johnson? I won't wait long, but I'll wait for a second. Still waiting for you to answer them other questions I asked you. I can't even remember what they are now. Oh, what's the mission statement of FDMG and where is it written? I'm still waiting for that answer, Seth Marie, because you know all the business. What do you think about him calling you a trifling after you donated all that money to him? back in 2000 and whatever, which I honestly didn't know about that he even said that whole trifling black people. Oh God, when he said that, I was like, oh Jesus. I didn't know about that until, oh, it must have been like late into 2018. Um, Umar, you are so entertaining. I swear to God, we love you. We just want you to get your shit together. Just stop doing dumb shit. Do you think our diets affect our thinking? Absolutely. I don't want to give my daughter food that's not going to help her brain develop. And I also know for a fact for myself, everything I say is for me when it comes to this. If I eat meat, I remember oh, I got my daughter, I ate a piece of it, and I literally started to feel a choking around my neck. Not because the chicken was stuck in my throat, but I am a conscious person. I'm not hiding that, Delta. I must go ahead and show that. What you said is what he said. So there's no need to hide it. He said trifling ass black people don't show it's telling me error. But sometimes it'll do that. I've made comments in chats, and if I use certain words, it won't let me post it. Um, but yeah, I felt a choke around my neck, and what I realized, see, I meditate, I do spiritual work. I'm not initiated into anybody's anything, but I don't believe that you need to be, because what nobody initiated when EFI first began millions of years ago. There was no initiation. My priestess told me to follow my instincts, but I think I felt this choking because that's the last thing birds feel before they die. And it was crazy to me because I felt this choking and this fear. And what went through my mind is why? And this is just from me eating one little piece of chicken. I felt my throat go, it was from the outside, not the inside. I felt like something was choking me. And I felt this sadness like, why? Like, what did I do? And I knew it was from the chicken. See, what happens for people who don't know is anything you take into your body, you experience what it experienced. What's a piece of corn's last experience? What experience does an almond have with tragedy or death? So oftentimes when we eat meat, we don't realize we're taking in that trauma that those animals experienced in their last moments. And I just don't want to be a part of that. Not when I'm trying to change the world in positive ways. I don't need to be taking on that energy. But I did eat that turkey because I needed it. I needed it. And then I was like, well, damn it, I had freaking shrimp and all kind of shit in my freezer, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted some red meat. Well, no, turkey's not red meat, it's white meat. I wanted some meat, some traditional meat, something that was gonna sit on my stomach. Oh my God, you know what's crazy is I didn't realize all these chats got hidden by YouTube. So I'll read them because I don't think anything's wrong with them. Um, Messenger, you said you think his ego is holding him back. I think that his ego is a byproduct of his. He will never do anything unless it benefits him more. He will never serve humanity because he has no empathy. You can't be a narcissist and do good things for people because it doesn't have, you've never heard Umar talk about love. Whether it's the love black people have for each other or the love parent. He said, I know some of us love our kids. That's the only time you really hear it. I know some of us love our kids, but some of them, I can't psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to have to get put to sleep. I know some of us love our kids, but some of them going to have to get put to sleep. I don't think that it's his ego. I think it's his daddy. His daddy got some issues that he put in him as he raised him. The man disowned Umar on YouTube for the whole world to see in a public video. He didn't even make it private or unlisted and share it with certain people. He made it public. I can't imagine. And my parents have cut me off a couple times, and my mama was like, I didn't even realize what I did when I did it. But I got a mama who wasn't raised by nobody. She was in foster care. So how's she supposed to know what it feels like to a child to be cut off? She'd been cut off all her life. That's all she knew. So she didn't think about the pain it would cause me. So when Umar's father cut him off, he disowned him. He said, Jamal Johnson said to his offspring, "You're dead to me." Could you imagine hearing your parents say that? "You're dead to me." A child that my nuts brought into the planet, not mine because I ain't got no nuts, but from a father's perspective, a child that talks like me and looks like me and sounds like me and moves like me is now dead to me? Can you imagine a grown man hearing his father say that and never publicly responding? There's a certain amount of hurt, but for him to never respond or whatever also kind of means he didn't feel anything. I didn't feel that. He didn't feel it. The messenger 215, he don't have that. He don't have it. There are overt and covert narcissists. I fight against covert narcissism. I was raised by narcissists. And my mother and I have had honest conversation about it. She knows at this point that she's dealing and growing from being narcissistic. She didn't know. She thought that she was just trying to be strict on me to give me high standards. No, you're narcissistic, Mom, and I'm 40 now, so I can tell you that. And she's learning and growing, but Umar struggles from what's called overt narcissism. He don't even hide it. It's just out there. It's part of his. And the thing is, that's his public personality. Because in private, he's very quiet. He's a gentleman. He's just not that guy. He ain't rah-rah. So it's kind of weird. Like when you say you think his ego is holding him back, no, Umar is holding him back. Umar has always been, from what I can tell, about trying to elevate himself above other people and stand out in some sort of leadership that's going to garner him this respect that he's been looking for. He's been looking and searching and yearning for this respect. So he does things like lie. The whole school thing. That was about trying to get respect too. I mean, consider that he does have a doctorate. He's accomplished absolutely nothing. He can't be proud of that. Seth Marie, are you proud of that? That he has a doctorate, but he's accomplished absolutely nothing? Nothing. Nothing tangible. Nothing substantive. Nothing quantifiable or qualifiable. He ain't got shit to show for nothing. Imagine that. Imagine the insecurity it brings for a man to know he's not a provider. He's not a protector. He's not a coverer. He's not a keeper. Most men would probably kill themselves. Umar don't have those kind of feelings. He don't feel like that. I don't think. Delta Girl referred to him calling black people trifling ass Negroes. Fitz One said, and I'm trying to show it, but YouTube won't let me show it. Fitz One said, to educate your son or daughter is to start at home. That is the truth. You guys have one of the best schooling systems in the Western world. So it's about making your child get the best out of the school system. I don't know about that. I've mentioned before, I've studied several master's degrees. I just never figured out what I actually wanted to study. I started a master's degree right before I started working at Apple. And that offer letter from Apple let me know I didn't need no master's degree. I made more money without a master's than I did with one. But I did start a master's degree. And I wanted to study education. And this was one thing I learned when I was studying this master's degree was that the American education system is flawed. And this is a master's program teaching me that the way that we do pedagogy or the way that you teach children in America is more about telling them what to know rather than opening a door to explore. The Montessori system is actually the best, the Italian Montessori system. I think the woman that started that, her name is Catherine or Karen Montessori, but that is probably the by far the best education system. And most people use Montessori for small children. I've taught Montessori education before. It frustrates some people, but I really enjoy giving kids the freedom to learn on their own, giving them something to teach them without you having to oversee every drop of knowledge they get. I wouldn't say America has the best education system. I think that when I tutored in schools in America, it was obvious to me that kids were undereducated, and they stopped teaching critical thinking in schools at some point. Messenger 215 said all religions have scumbag men. That's right. Not just Muslims, but you don't have all these men going around telling other people what to say, what to think, how to dress, how to eat, how to live, what they should do. The Nation of Islam is very, very dogmatic about its beliefs and how Black people should live. But them some whorish men. Whorish. Whorish. Whorish men. So no, of course, and we could deflect and say all religions have scumbag men, just like we could say all cultures have scam artists. That doesn't stop us from keeping our foot on Umar's neck or anybody else who wants to come out and show their face, like Polite, Boyce Watkins. I don't think Tariq Nasheed is a scam artist. I think he's a hustler. I think that, I think that for the most part, he's produced a good product. Excuse me. I have all 5 hidden colors plus 1804 right here. And I didn't pay a dime for none of them. I got I have a VPN, and with a VPN you can search the entire internet. So I changed my VPN to Germany or some shit, not America. And I search the internet like I'm from another country. And there's certain things that aren't taken down in some countries. If Tariq Nasheed didn't take down his hidden colors in Lithuania, then I can change my VPN to a Lithuania VPN, and it looks like I'm traveling the web from Lithuania, and I can see things that people from America can't see. Did you know that on Netflix there are certain documentaries you'll never see if your IP is from America? China did that for you. They made certain documentaries unavailable to Americans. But if you change that VPN, say to France or Nuremberg, or what's another good one we used to use? There's a lot of VPNs from other countries. You can actually use Netflix and see totally different Netflix. You may not know that. But if you change your VPN on your computer or your device, it'll actually search the web from a different location, and that's how I'm able to see all 5 hidden colors plus 1804 online for free. And I saved them to my hard drive on my computer and downloaded them to my thumb drive. I ain't never paid to watch Hidden Colors. I won't. Why should I? I can see it for free. Um, Excuse me. It looks like there's another. I'm sorry. This is it's slow in moving. So Delta, it still didn't let you say it, even when you put the 6s and the O's. It knows. Wait, Fitz said, "Oh, I'm sorry for yawning, ATL. Look, I wake up early. My baby wakes me up early, right? And then when she goes to bed at night, it's like a brand new world, and I get all this energy. But I probably should get off here soon. I have somebody to see tomorrow, so I don't know what time that is anyway. So I'm good. Um, no, he does not work with others. I don't know who said that. I think it was the message, the messenger 215. He doesn't work with other people. Fitz one said, not the best, one of the best, and not the teaching method, but your curriculum is one of the best. Um, well, not the teaching methods, definitely. I think our teaching methods could learn a lot from Italy here in America. I learned curriculum in a different country. I didn't learn curriculum in America. So I don't know. I've only seen American curriculum throughout my own matriculation. I've never taught in a public school in America. And I have never taken a life either. No, I've never taught in a public school in America. Yeah, that VPN is a killer. And I actually took mine off when I got back to America just because it was nice to not have to use it. But I definitely probably should put it back on because, like, even when I invest, there's cryptocurrency I can't buy from America. But if I change my VPN to a UK VPN, I can buy certain cryptocurrency like EOS. Americans aren't allowed to buy EOS cryptocurrency. Did you know that? Did you know your government won't allow you to buy cryptocurrency from certain companies because they know it's going to shut down the economy at some point? I love that Mink Slide. I didn't like nothing else he put out as far as albums. I haven't really gotten his music after that all sound the same. But I thought that at that time, see, I'm an 80s baby and I loved that sound that was out in the late 80s. And that Mink Slide just brought back Miami sound, that LA kind of funk, when funk was becoming more R&B, that transition between funk and R&B was beautiful. And I thought he did a really good job, Tariq Nasheed, of capturing that sound in his music. He had some good writers, some good singers. His singing isn't all that great, but that actually makes it a little bit better because it's more honest. I love Mink Slide. Like, I listen to that album all the fucking time. It's on my title. I like it. I'm trying to think, what is my favorite song from that album? Hold on, my purse is around here somewhere. My phone. Where is my phone? I don't know. I put my watch down so I can't call my phone. Technology sucks. No, I'm trying to think. What's my favorite Mink Slide song? The song that comes to mind is "It's Time to Get You in the Mood." It's time. It's just a real easy to listen to album. It's not pretentious. It wasn't doing too much. He wasn't purporting to be this amazing singer. I just felt like it was a really honest album. That's just my opinion. Yeah, a lot of good Asian horror films are not available on American Netflix. That's right. I love those Asian horror films. They are so fucking scary. Oh my God. And the storylines take forever. So you get to know everything about the characters. And the back in the day, like back when The Ring came out and you saw Ju-on and all the Japanese versions of the horror movies we were seeing in America, you could see those on Netflix, but now they've taken them off. hmm Um, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people don't. I look, y'all know I ain't for no popularity contest. I like that Mink Slide. I thought it was so cool. I'm trying to think of another song off the album that I like. I wish I had my phone. Where is my phone? It must be over there on the counter. Trying to think of another one I liked. I can't think of. The only one I can think of is da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, ah-da-da-da-da. I mean, that just takes me back to the 80s. And I am an 80s baby. I was in California during the early part, my early part of the 80s. In 1987, I was in California. So, like, it just reminds me of that sound. It's good riding music, good music to put in the car and ride around too. But anyway, I don't know. Before I shut this down, let me ask, does anybody have anything else? Any more questions? Anything else you want to say? I'm so glad that you guys treated Flacco so respectfully. I just believe, people have a right to their opinion. I want people to give me, the right to my opinion. It's sad to me, to be honest with you, that Anti-Afro sullied my name the way she did. But one thing about a human being is their character always stands out no matter what's said about them. So I'm not really concerned about that. That's a person I don't know personally. And she doesn't have any investment in my daily life, nor do I in hers. I don't have any hard feelings toward her. I don't have any hate, nothing I need to worry about going to sleep with. Oh, I don't know enough about NFAC, y'all. I've been out the country for 4 years. I just learned that y'all got these damn. I got a sandwich in my purse. I didn't know. Uh, Stupid shit. I got a roasted vegetable sandwich in my purse. I came back to America, right? And everywhere I go, wait, let me see if I got one. So this is a credit card I got before I left America. It doesn't have a chip, right? I came back to America and all of a sudden you got chips on credit cards and debit cards. And I'm like, what's this? What's this taking too long shit? This takes for fucking ever. Listen, when I was in China and I was at a cashier, I showed my phone. They scanned the barcode on my phone and took the money out the bank, and I was on my way. Things are totally different. Totally different. So, like, I said all that to say, I don't know nothing about infect. The whole thing that happened with Grandmaster Jay, I only know what I've seen, which is very superficial information. That he was using the scope on his gun, the flashlight, and pointing it at an officer. Excuse me. I honestly think that's a lot of bullshit. I've been hit with rubber bullets. I've had officers put their guns up to me. Um, some of the most. I mean, I saw an officer tried to run down a woman with a baby cart. So like I think that was something that they wanted to use to get him off the streets. They did the same thing with what's your name, baby? Bokeem. I can't remember the man who was one of the leaders of the New Black Panther Party, who was saying stuff on Facebook, and they actually arrested him for his social media posts. They just want to get us off the street. I don't know if you guys know that Obama actually was a part of a commission that coined the term Black identity extremists. That video is still on my channel. That's one video I will not take down because um, I forget the name of the man now who even did it. Was it? If you go in my videos, you'll see October of 2017, I posted a video and it has a big warning, an FBI warning on it because YouTube tried to take the video down off of all platforms. And the person who made the video, I want to say it was Black Thought, but he made the video and he gave us permission to share it on our own platform. So I did. And from the time I started sharing that video, I started getting put in Facebook and YouTube jail all of a sudden. But that particular document, he reads the whole Black Identity Extremist report. It's an FBI report that he reads on this video. So you got to understand that when it comes down to like this infect stuff, they don't want us to stand against what they're doing in these governments. They don't want us to, and they've made it illegal for us to even identify ourselves as Black and call the police out on their bullshit. Now, this whole Black Lives Matter thing, the reason why I emphatically said tonight we were not Black Lives Matter, we don't work for Black Lives Matter, is because the Black Lives Matter thing is a trap. People don't know it. Inside the Black Identity Extremist Report, it identifies Black Lives Matter as a terrorist organization. So why the fuck would I say I'm with Black Lives Matter? And why would I let the media keep coining me as a Black Lives Matter activist so I can get killed and it be okay because I was a terrorist? So we walk around because we want to be part of something. Yeah, I'm Black Lives Matter. I'm Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I'm with Black Lives Matter. And then when they shoot you in the head and show your mama the law and say you terrorist because you associate with Black Lives Matter and now you legally are a terrorist. You did that. So no, I'm very adamant about that. I'm not Black Lives Matter. I've never operated. I've been to some meetings and found out it was shit. It was bullshit. It wasn't shit. Black Lives Matter's meetings were ways to keep Black people quiet for 3.5 hours instead of doing work. Thank you, ATL Customs. Sometimes I don't feel very eloquent. I appreciate you for saying that. Girl, I'm assuming you're a woman, ATL Customs. I'm sorry. And I just started carrying this purse again today. This purse has been in my closet for weeks, and I carried it today because it matched my outfit. Usually, every day it's just me and this wallet. That's it. That's it. Everything I need goes in this wallet. But today I started carrying this purse, and I got everything. I got a baseball cap. I got a whole nother wallet because it matches the bag, but I didn't feel like taking my stuff out the other bag, out the other wallet, and putting it in here. I forgot this was in here. It's a bottle of milk in here. Thank you for telling me to go in my purse. It's a bottle of milk from my baby's lunch. Sorry, ATL Customs. You are a guy. I hate when people call me bruh. I got a big old phone charger brick. Of course, I got napkins. I think that's it. I think that's it. Ain't nothing good. Yeah, my purse is usually not. I don't usually carry that purse. It just matched my outfit. I live in this city, so I don't really go around walking around the streets with luxury handbags in the city, because you never know who's watching. But let me see. I don't think. Oh no, too many men. I don't think he made mink slide for men. Mm-mm. I don't think Tariq made mink slide for men, because I don't see men going like this. Do do do. Do 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 do. I don't see men doing this. Not my kind of men. So like, no, I don't think he made that album for men. I think he made that for bitches. And I'll keep my mouth shut about that. Let me see. Do you know how to get that? You're talking about the VACCINE? The messenger? I don't know how to get it out the system. Thank you, Delta. I appreciate your help and your support. Brother from Gorilla Mainframe. Does that mean Stone Gatherer? Brother from Gorilla Mainframe. That's fine. Yeah, I got my baby some lunch on the way to dropping her off at school today, and I meant to give her the milk and I forgot. Well, hopefully it's subsidized milk. I pay $8 a half gallon for milk. I pay $8 for a half gallon of milk that only lasts a few days because it's better for you. Raw milk is so much better for you. So much better. Um, Let me see. Is there anything else? I really like this chat. I think you guys, we've had some good conversations. We talked about everything. I would love, maybe I'll start going live more on my channel, and we'll do some stream yards so we can all get in and get to know each other and have some chat. Because obviously we can have conversation about Umar and not have conversation about Umar and be happy. Oh, activated charcoal oat milk. Hmm, that's interesting. Activated charcoal oat milk. Rakim Bolagoon. That's exactly the name I was trying to remember. Thank you, Stone Gatherer. He ain't dead, so I can't ask him. If he was dead, I could be like, what's your name? But he ain't dead, so I just gotta hopefully come up like it did. Rakim Bolagoon. He was arrested and he was in jail for like 2.5 months over some Facebook posts. Um yeah, yeah. He was arrested over some Facebook posts. He did nothing illegal. I think that's it. Let me see, what time is it? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning here. I can only imagine what time it is where you guys are. Where are you guys? I'm on the West Coast. I'm glad I talked to you guys because I was thinking about I asked let me see your transcripts for permission to repost the video from tonight. And then I thought about it and I was like, but how does that help us as what we're trying to do? Put Umar where he needs to be. Keep him from doing what he's doing. How does any of that conversation? Of course, ATL is from ATL. I love ATL, by the way. I used to live 4 hours from ATL, so I was there all the time. Um, how does the interview I did tonight with? I mean, there's a couple tidbits a supporter could see and be like, "Oh, he's a scammer," but most of that shit was gossip. Most of it was, oh, London. I want to go to London so bad, Fitz. I have a play brother who's in London, a couple friends in London, and I've wanted to go so bad. If there's a place I want to go and visit just for 1 or 2 days, it's definitely London. Absolutely. Oh, the messenger, you're in Philly. Okay, so you're not Umar, are you? If you are, that's fine. Um, you're up all hours. Wow, you must be independently wealthy. Must be nice. Um, what was I gonna say? I forget. I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, Indianapolis. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's right up the street and around the corner from Indianapolis. Let me see. There is a fly in here that just started flying around. I don't know if you could see it, but I don't know where it came from. It's very all of a sudden and it's bothering me. All right. That's weird. Um, oh wow. Thank you for your service, the messenger. I'm sorry you had to fight that. I'm so sorry. I've talked to several people who said they went over there to do work and found out they were doing something different. Oh, ATL, you're from Ohio. Okay, I used to live in Cincinnati. What part of Ohio? I used to live in Cincinnati, and I had a fiance who was from Toledo. Um, I wish I could say where I am. I'm on the West Coast. I'm somewhere between California and Texas. Beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful place. I'm happy to be here. I came back to the States and was in California for a little bit, but it's expensive in California. It's too expensive to live if you have any kind of good standard of living. Wait a minute, you still trying to fight for your benefits? Wait, you retired Iraq. Wait, the Iraq war was when I was in middle school. No. Yeah, because that was at, you're not talking about Operation Desert Storm, are you? Or are you talking to, yeah, you talking about Operation Desert Storm from the 90s? Oh, Forest Park. Oh, Forest Park is Cincinnati. Forest Park is Cincinnati, ATL Customs. Forest Park is Cincinnati. You from Cincinnati. Oh my God, I cannot believe that. Yeah, born in Columbus, raised in Cincy. Yeah, Forest Park is Cincy. I used to live in Western Hills. Yeah, I know the area. I love Forest Park. It's down the street and around the corner. It's Cincinnati. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you guys for being in here, for chiming in. I did just want to speak my piece on the interview tonight. I wanted to give my side. I I'll put it in a nutshell. It wasn't biased, but I can handle it. It's okay. If somebody was under any kind of deception or trying to do anything backhanded when it came to that interview, that's their karma, not mine. I went in with full intentions to be open and honest and clear and honest and truthful and honest and clear and truthful and honest. And that's what I did. I accomplished what I went there to do. I was invited there. I did not ask to come. So when I was invited to somebody's house, I sat down at the table and let them have the discussion with me the way they wanted to. And I allowed her to do that. If I look like a villain because of that, then that's what I look like. I'm still gonna make videos speaking out against Umar. I'm still gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Whatever else I'm supposed to do, I'm still writing letters and doing the reports according to anti-Afro Bengali's instructions. I am still following her instructions because I'm smart enough to put people in their box. She can be mad at me and still coach me in how to help take this thing down. I've worked with people I didn't like many times. I made a lot of money with people I didn't like. So like I have enough maturity to say I'm still gonna watch her videos. If she posts something that says, hey, send this letter here, send this email here, file this report here, I'm gonna do it. Why wouldn't I? Why? Because she mad at me? Because she accused me of some things I didn't do? Man, please, I know what I'm here for and I know what I'm here to do. And I understand that there's a lot that I was involved in that looks really, really bad. And I also understand I've been accused of some things I didn't do. And I'm at peace with all of that. I'm at peace with all of that. Um, so I want to wish you guys a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you guys coming to this live chat for 3.5 3 hours. Wow. and just chopping it up because I felt like I got into a couple fights tonight. And I don't like fighting no more. It don't feel good to have to whoop on somebody in public. Like you don't like that. Um, so it didn't feel good, but I felt like I needed to come back here to my own channel and speak my speech. And whoever's listening that wants to gossip, run tell that. Run tell it. Take the whole video and share it. I haven't said anything I shouldn't. Other than that, I want to wish you guys a great morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm going to bed. I love y'all. Bye.